Hello and welcome back to the show. I'm Manny Friedman, along with my co-host,
Brad Sloan.
back in the house
That
for
is our new phrase. We are
Indian
coining that
Wells,
phrase.
baby.
Hashtag back in the house.
Back in the house. Indian Wells, baby. Masters 1000, aka the fifth major. I've been to the event a couple times. It's absolutely tennis paradise. It lives up to that name. Um, Tennis paradise in terms of betting. I'm hoping that that's the case this week. We'll get into our best bets. Hasn't Brad had a great second day of qualifying? If you want to touch on that parlay that you hit.
Yeah, I hit a 35-1 parlay, which was pretty fun. I had Gojo to win the minus 2.5 in the first set. I had Stevie Johnson over 12.5. I had Sugita to cover against Kokonakis, like a +5. I had Nick Hart to cover, and I had Misilic to, I think, cover against, like, there were like a bunch of underdogs in the parlay. So it was kind of amazing. And it
Amazing.
was hilarious because I had like Nick Hart and like Sugita to cover. And it was just like the entire time, it was huge spreads. And the whole time I'm just like Hart was like a +6 to cover. It was like +6. And I'm just praying the whole time, like, can he cover 6? Because like he's the worst player. Like like it's just brutal.
Who
But
did he
you're just
play
like you're
again?
hoping that like it stays close.
Who did he play?
Taro.
Taro Daniel.
Yeah.
Who's been pretty bad recently. So
He
I
yeah,
thought
he
that
beat
was a good
Casper
pick.
Ruud. He beat top 10 player Casper Ruud.
Casper Ruud is playing like top 80, top 90 tennis right now. So we'll get into that match against Schwartzman a little later. But yeah, well, that's a great win. I hope the luck continues going into the main draw. So
Well, round one's not been so good.
okay, all right. Well, I
I
have
guess
a
that's where we'll start, right? We can start talking about round one. So we can start talking about some of Manny's had a little bit better, probably of a round one than me. So Manny, you can talk about
it's
the
been
good bets
pretty
you've had.
rough. Uh, I just want to warn you, I have a 50-1 parlay on the line. I'm currently watching the Manarino match, and then I have Zhang over 11.5 against Paparin and Barrere to beat Sock. And if all three of those things happen, I hit a 51 parlay. So if I get a little sidetracked, don't get upset with me.
And those other two matches just came out, so they just started.
Yeah, yeah. Just before we get started, I just want to shout out all the great back and forth with Tidbits Tennis and Klaus on the Twitter feed. It's been great. So especially
That was
today,
like a
a
mainstay.
ton
He
of
gets like a call out every single day.
well, it's funny because Tidbits and I like actually agreed on a lot of the stuff today, which was interesting. I think I don't know. You kind of were not fully agreeing with us on some of the picks, right? Like such as the Krajinovic one today.
Yeah, so the Korean when I went directly against you guys and hit
Yeah,
McDonald.
and that was a good hit.
Um, that's the only thing I think I won all day so far. So I'm happy that I got something right. Um, and then I didn't place that many bets. I only bet on like 4 of the matches. I think I put multiple bets on some of the matches, but I only bet on like 4 of the matches. But so far that's the only one I've won. Um, but uh, but yeah, and then on Manarino, I ended up going with you guys. I was just a lot more worried about it because of the matchup. But other than that, I think I agreed or just stayed away from a lot of your takes. I stay away from a lot more in round one. Round one scares the hell out of me personally.
It's probably smart. To me, I still bet round one just as intensely as I do the other rounds, just because of it kind of enhances the watching intensity for me. It kind
Yeah, I
of
don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. Like I think it's a
yeah.
like I don't think it's a bad move to do that. I actually think it's probably it may not like it might improve your I mean, like how much can you possibly lose, right? Even if you're betting blindly, you're only going to lose like the vig is usually only like 5%. So like even
Mhm.
if you're just betting blindly and know nothing, like you're not going to lose that much, and you should still know something. So you should be better than like the pure 5% loss. So like
Right.
you're not losing that. It may be worth the fee to enhance your viewing experience. So
To
yeah,
me,
I think this is
I
great.
will do that, and also like a lot of my losses, I feel like we're pretty bad luck, to be honest, especially today. Like I tailed Tidbits Tennis on the righty versus Draper match today, and that was just a
How
complete.
did that end up 1-1? I didn't
I
get to
mean,
watch any of that. It was
terrible.
hilarious, man. I had calls, like work calls from like 2 to 3:30. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch the righty match afterwards. Nope. Nope. He
It
didn't
was
make it that
over.
far. It was done. Yeah. And my call didn't end
Yeah,
early, so I was like super pumped. I was like, all right, I get to watch righty. And then I looked and I was like, and I didn't see it like in the live scores.
yeah.
I'm like, where's righty? Why is he not in the live scores? And then I see like, oh, 1-1. And I'm like, that's sad.
Yeah. It was just a terrible match. Everything was screaming righty, right? Because like Draper hasn't played since Australia, right? He's been like struggling with injuries. I mean, I thought it would at least be competitive, you know, like righty's been really good on the Challenger Tour.
I just thought the layoff would be much worse. Like I thought like not playing for since Australia would be like a problem, at least for the first set. But Draper was
So I saw
was Draper even that good? It looked like Reddy just made a lot of errors.
he just made a lot of errors. That's exactly right. So like I feel like in these conditions, like when they're really slow, you have to kind of play them like a clay court match, right? You know, they're going to be long drawn out rallies. Like you're going to have to be patient and wait for your opportunities. Righty did the exact opposite. He was just going way too big too early in points when like it wasn't there for him. He was just like hitting forehands long. You know, he was just kind of pressing.
Yeah.
And it just shows that he has a while to go. Like he's been successful in the Challenger Tour, but I think he just like has a long way to go before.
Well, he's had a couple of bad
off
matches, I think. If I remember right, I think he had a bad one against. I mean, he lost a bad one to Fusevitz maybe a few months ago. I can't remember. I feel like the score might not have been good there. I know he lost a match to Fusevitz. I don't remember how bad the score was. I thought it was pretty bad.
I mean, he did.
I know he lost. Yeah, I don't know.
Did pretty well in France. I mean, beat Rinderknecht, but the thing is, like, Rinderknecht doesn't have any rally tolerance, right? So that's a match that he could win, I guess. In Australia, I mean, yeah, I think he was hurt in that match. That's why
he was
lost.
hurt in that match, but he in the Dalibor match. But yeah, I guess losing 5-4
to 3 sets to Hurkacz. But he actually hasn't played that much since Australia. So
yeah,
maybe
I honestly, if he didn't qualify and if he didn't beat Mueller 4-1, I wouldn't have bet him. Like I just thought, okay, during qualifying he looked pretty good. I mean, Mickelson, he beat Mickelson in the first round, and like Mickelson's a guy who's been doing like pretty well lately on the Challenger Tour. Like he's thrown a bunch of upsets together, and then he backed it up by killing Mueller. So I was like, okay, like he must be playing decently. Like, and I watched the match against Mueller, and he looked really good against Mueller.
Yeah, it's probably Draper's ball quality is also better, right? That's another thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Mueller's not that good. I mean,
it doesn't say 1-1. I just think his tactics were all off. He wasn't feeling the ball well. It just like,
but it's weird. I'm just really surprised that his tactics would have been all like he's been there for two qualifying matches. So like I would understand that a lot more if he was coming in not knowing. But like you've had 2 matches, 5 sets of tennis. Like it's just weird.
There's no reason why that should be 1-1. Like that's on him, right? Bad tactics. It's not an excuse for losing 1-1.
Yeah, and I was pissed because I had him in 3 parlays.
Yeah,
and I had three different single bets and 3 parlays. I was like heavily united up on that match. And it did not go well.
No, it's not good. I mean, I also had the over 22.5. I just thought it would be like a long drawn out match, and like Draper would also probably struggle in the first set because he hasn't played. And yeah, it just wasn't to be. As far my other bets today, I had Hallis over 12.5 games versus Struff, which was painful. I think Hallis had 12 games. He was serving to stay in the match at 5-3. He had 40-15 and then blew it. So that was brutal.
Especially a lot of times once guys get to 40-15 in that spot, they'll just give up the hold because they'll just be more focused on serving out the match, you know? Right. So it's that's really brutal.
That was just terrible. Just terrible. Krajinovic, money line versus McDonald. I'm getting more and more disappointed with Krajinovic just by his like pure lack of compete level and just like,
I agree. I would 100% back.
A couple years ago, I thought highly of the guy. I thought he was talented. He has a really good backhand, really solid strokes and stuff. But just his lack of competitiveness is just really alarming. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, and I know
Yeah.
you hit McDonald there, but I was like, I thought McDonald was the favorite there, but I thought like plus 130 would be the appropriate line, plus maybe 135 would be the appropriate line, not plus 170, especially on these like slow, high bouncing courts, you know, where McDonald
Yeah.
prefers kind
So
of low
I
bouncing
thought
courts.
the plus 170 um made sense in terms of tennis like skill,
Hmm.
given how bad Krajinovic has been. And
Yeah,
I think I posted this on the Twitter, like he's had like one top 100 win on hard, like he in the past year. He beat Evans, I think, once in the past. I think he beat Evans, and that's his only top 90 win. He has two top 100 wins, that and Karatsev,
interesting.
on hard. He's just
Okay.
like, but on the other hand, this plays more like clay. The reason I really bet McDonald is he's a UCLA kid. So I figured
Mhm.
that like I figured he would come out with like, I don't know, I figured he'd come out with a little extra energy, which I mean it worked out, but I mean 3 in love probably means it was more Krajinovic than McDonald.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not super impressed with Mackey's compete level either, you know, on a day-to-day basis. It's probably better than Krajinovic's in recent times,
I feel like
but
it's usually there. I think the problem with Mackey is like he just doesn't have like most of the guys who are always competing and staying in sets, most of them have weapons, and that's why if they have a weapon they can go to and at least get like some percentage of points.
Mhm.
Maggie doesn't really have anything. His like weapon is more that he just hits like a weird flat ball. And he plays like up on the baseline, so he takes the ball pretty quick, but he doesn't really
Right.
have like a weapon, right? Like, would you agree? He doesn't like if the
Really?
other guy's playing well, what's he gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair point. Like uh Nakashima played well against him last week. Was it Nakashima?
That was the other way. It was Tommy Paul that beat him 2-2.
Oh, Tommy Paul, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Tommy
like,
Paul
what is
played
he
pretty
gonna do
well.
against Tommy Paul? If Tommy Paul's
Right.
hitting good deep balls and they're bouncing up, like what is Mackey gonna do?
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, he doesn't have plan B at all. Like he's totally just a plan A player, right?
Oh, I don't
So,
think that's like a lack of like I'm actually impressed that Mackey's gotten as far as he's gotten. Like I think it's pretty cool that he's gotten onto the tour and he's like a legitimate ATP tour player.
okay. All right. So I guess maybe his upside wasn't as high as I kind of envisioned it, and maybe like he's kind of maxed out, but you're probably
I mean,
right
that's
about
my
that.
thought on Mackey is like,
Yeah.
he's like good on him. He's made a pro career, and that's given what he's got, that's not bad.
Right.
Like I just don't think he has much to.
Krajinovic clearly has some competing issues. Like, you know, losing three
That yeah,
love
100%.
is
There's no doubt
not
about that.
it's just not acceptable, you know? Like it's just bad. So let's move on from the from the bad to the good today. Rinky. Rinky.
Which
You
is
gotta win,
hilarious given all
baby.
the Twitter back and forth. But yeah, I mean, that was a weird match.
It was a good match. I enjoyed it today. Uh, I thought Rinky's tactics were incredible against Ymer, especially in the first set, where I mean, I think he started down a break in that match, and then he kind of changed his tactics where he was utilizing slice and drop shots, trying to draw Ymer in, disrupt his rhythm, and kind of like, you know, use the slice to kind of open up the court in a way. And I thought that
Yeah.
was quite impressive. I mean, both guys are kind of underpowered, right? It's hard for them to hit through the
Well,
court.
I was gonna say it actually wasn't interesting. I agree with that take. It was an interesting matchup. I stayed away just because I mean, Rinky's not a guy like Rinky and Emer are both guys I don't like to bet. I just feel like Rinky's fun. He's got like variety and stuff. He's kind of fun to bet when he's a big underdog, and maybe he was a big enough underdog here that I should have bet him.
Mhm.
But like he was so bad between Australia and coming here and qualifying, and like I didn't really think I'd win over Tennis Sandgren was too impressive, especially given that matchup. Like I think that matchup like favors Rinky.
Mhm.
So I wasn't like, and I actually didn't really think the matchup favored Rinky here. I didn't think it necessarily didn't favor him. I just thought it was like I thought it was kind of a stalemate matchup. Which again, like this all lends credence to betting him at plus 285. I probably should have hit that.
Mhm.
I mean, but obviously
Yeah.
hindsight is 2020. I just Rinky's. I never thought it was Emer. Like I put 0 seconds of thought into betting Emer. I just didn't think that like Rinky, he can be so bad sometimes. Like sometimes he's just not consistent sometimes. And he's also underpowered. And so like if the guy's playing well, there's not much he can do. If he's playing badly, it's a problem. But like you're right, if he's playing well, he's kind of fun.
Yeah, and the fact that he did qualify kind of enticed me to hit him as well because he was kind of acclimated with the conditions. And I don't know. I respect Rinky's compete level more than I do Ymer's. Like I don't.
Oh, no doubt about that. I think all the takes were good takes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it was. I mean, clearly it was a good bet, right? Like you won, and he won in straight sets. So like clearly, but
And I don't like. I think Ymer should have been the favorite. It's not like I did, but I was just taking the price into consideration. Like I was expecting plus 195, plus 180, but not plus 240, plus 250. You know, like so. I mean, it was good. Martinez against Huesler today. I also hit over 2.5 sets. So Huesler's been really bad. I mean, like he really
has been.
He really shouldn't be losing matches to Pedro Martinez on hard court. But he did.
Well, but it's Huesler. Well, but maybe his is not that good, right? Like maybe his run was more kind of brief. He's a little bit limited, so I could see if guys started to scout him out. I could see him starting to struggle now and having that kind of second struggle like that it's not really a sophomore slump because it's like he had a full year, but like that slump after you've been on the tour for a few months, guys are starting to figure out what you do, guys are starting to coach against you.
Yeah,
you're playing veteran.
We saw him against Zverev at Davis Cup, and like granted that was a different Zverev than there is now, but like there was promise of him attacking second serves, kind of playing aggressively, but like
but how many of those were backhands? That's what I'm saying, right? He's limited.
Yeah, I guess he's limited, but like, and probably the slow conditions doesn't help him, right?
No.
Still, Pedro's been really bad too. Like,
I don't think I'm disagreeing with your overall take.
And Huesler has more upside than Pedro on a hard court.
Well, yeah, I mean that's not a. I mean, yeah, that's equivalent to like betting Medvedev and betting Medvedev tomorrow or Thursday or. What is tomorrow? Yeah. Tomorrow's Friday. Betting Medvedev against whoever he plays coming up this next match. Like that's not like that's what kind of thing that is. But anyways,
yeah. Did you have a bet on that match?
I didn't. I that was just a pure stay away to me. Like so many of these first round matches, you just like don't know how guys are going to show up to the tournament. Like, so I'm really hesitant. Like. I like generally my rule for first rounders is I like to look at qualifiers and potentially betting qualifiers, and then most other guys I just stay away.
Okay. All right. I mean, I know you had to bet on the Holt Kokkinakis match, so you can get into that.
That was so hilarious, man. Because like, so this is one where I was believing in the home crowd because I thought that like, because Holt's he's another Southern California kid, so I thought that I just thought that like. Holt at home could cover 4. Kokkinakis has struggled to break serve recently. Sugita was +4. He's had a bunch of matches recently where I've been like, he's won, but it's been like he hasn't been covering easily. Or he hasn't been winning. Like he doesn't win by a lot of big margins. So I thought 4 was really likely to push. And then I thought the line was I thought that was the right line, but I thought Holt being at home was worth like half a game to a game. Holt did not win a game on Kokkinakis serve until he was down 2 breaks in the second set.
That's horrible.
Like I was actually really hoping. Like I texted you. I was really hoping in 6-4-3 love that Holt would lose 6-4-6 love and not win any points on Kokkinakis serve. So I wanted to see like if that would make ESPN because like that would be like what's more no real question. What's more impressive, going a whole match without losing a point on your serve or a golden set?
Golden set.
I agree with you. I think it's a golden set, but like it would be pretty damn amazing, right? To go a whole match and not lose any points on your serve.
That's
Like,
true.
even given how this turned out, Kokonakis didn't lose a single point on his first serve the entire match.
Wow, that's crazy. So it was a total blowout. Total blowout.
Total blow. And Holt, like, I think Holt won like half the points on his serve. So yeah, it was a disaster for Holt. Like, yeah, just complete disaster.
So are you a little
Um,
bit so okay, let's turn it the other way. I know Holt was really bad, but do you kind of put a little more stock in Kokonakis now? Like do you think a little bit higher of him?
no, because
Oh.
like, I mean, he's actually played decently well. So I guess my stock on him is like slowly rising. Like, I thought he was a challenger level player when he wasn't in Australia. That was kind of my thought on him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now it's rising to maybe he's an ATP level player when he's not in Australia. You
Yeah.
know, but like, I don't think he's amazing. So I guess it depends like what is stock. I guess stock for me is rising. My stock was probably way too low before, so it's probably just a correction. Um, but yeah, I'm not like a Coke fan. Like, he's just yeah,
Yeah,
he's
because he seems like a guy that you kind of continuously fade for valid reasons. I'm not saying that your reasoning is not valid, but it's just I don't know. He has a good serve, good forehand, and like maybe that 6 hour loss to Murray wasn't like a really bad loss. Like Murray is like a good player. Like getting to that point, and I know that's in Australia, but still like
well, I think that so Kokonaks, I
pretty
think it's
good.
just like a player dependent event, right? We talked about this before, right? Like I just didn't think like a day match in round one, but like we're seeing a little more professionalism out of Kokonakis too. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I probably should be I'll raise my stock a little bit on him. I mean, I
Okay.
haven't been just blindly. I'm not a blind anti-Coke better. I'm just, and I've hit him a few times. Like, I like to bet him over 12.5. Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's it just depends on the spot, but
Yeah.
so that yeah, but that's my thought there. Um,
Wolf versus Fushevik, over
oh
20. Oh, this
God,
is painful. Oh my God. I mean, how often do you get 3 set unders? I mean, this was
yeah,
just
yeah.
brutal. I mean, it's just like,
And it's amazing that Wolf would go from winning the first set 6-1 to going 0-6, 3-6. And he was up a break in the third also. He was up
he's up
3-1
in
in
a
the
break. I think
third.
he was missing forehands by like 20 feet long, like in the third set
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
second. I mean, he was just so erratic. It was just so frustrating. And like,
Wolf is quickly becoming a guy who like, and I think I bet him because his name's Wolf. And like anytime I bet on Wolf, anytime I get excited, I can text the Wolf emoji out, and it's like it's kind of fun. But like, he's really a guy I probably should start moving to my stay away list because he's just so erratic day to day, set to set. Like,
I'm going the other way. I'm not going the stay away list. I'm going the fade list. The problem is
okay,
that the books probably won't give him that much respect due to his recent form, and they're not gonna like give him the respect that they give like a Zverev or even a team, for example, or
yeah.
Schwartzman, right? But like if I see a good price against him, I'm definitely fading him because like he's just been so bad. Like ever since that choke job against Isner, I think in Dallas, like I don't think he's won a match since then,
No, he hasn't.
right?
I don't think so.
So let me see. So he lost first round to Taro Daniel. That speaks for itself, to be honest. Like Taro Daniel lost to the guy that you won the parlay on in your qualifying. Um,
Well, he didn't lose. Taro Daniel won the match. He won 6-4 in the third, but
okay, he did beat Ivashka and Delray Beach. Okay,
Taro Daniel beat Casper Ruud. He beat a top 10 player. He's got a top 10 win in the past month.
okay, okay.
I'm kidding, obviously. Like, Casper Ruud has been awful. Like, and we'll talk more about Ruud, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting match against Schwartzman.
yeah,
But yeah, Delray Beach, he did win one match, but like hasn't been good, So, and like those last 2 sets were really alarming. Like they were really bad. So, I don't know. I have to kind of see who he's playing, see what the line is, but like he's a guy on my fade list right now. So,
yeah. And to be fair, like, it's not like I was like super high on Wolf. Like, I
mhm.
bet him against. So I bet him mostly because he was at home. again, like I was like home guy in America, not at home, but he's in America. And Vucevic had also been really bad. And like Vucevic is like, he can just go on runs where like he's just terrible.
He
Like
does.
he can, I mean, like the Davis Cup match against Humber, he lost like I think 3-2 to Hugo Humber. Like he had the debacle against Sinner after going up 2 sets and then losing Love 1 and 2. Like,
Yeah.
so it's not like an I love it's not like I just he's I thought he was a good fade guy for me, but I guess not. Like I don't know, but maybe not. I mean, maybe it's just Wolf being so bad. Also, it's just yeah. But that was pure pain.
Oh, pure
Um,
pain. Pure pain.
for you
Guess money
especially. Like for
line
me, it
versus
was just
yo-yo
like
hit. Hmm?
I would say for you especially because you missed an under on an under
Yeah, under
there.
on 3 sets. It's just like
Yeah.
that's the worst loss possible. And Fushevik plays a lot of 3-set matches, so and like Wolf probably is better tennis wise, but just not better like as we said, erratic. Fushevik is also the fitter guy, so it's like I thought that had overwritten all over it, but it just wasn't to be. Gasquet beat Gojo in a three set match today, so that was a good hit as well. Ben Shelton, he's playing pretty well. I'm getting more and more impressed by him. I know it's Fabio Fonini who probably I didn't see the match, but like he's just overmatched now at this point in his career.
But it
Um,
took like a sit off of Alcaraz, right? And granted, Alcaraz wasn't playing that great, but like I feel like with Fonini, like especially at this point in his career, it's like, does he want to be there? And it just feels like sometimes he just doesn't want to be there. And he's kind of always been that way, but I feel like it's gotten worse in the past year or two.
the problem now is that you're combining that with kind of a decline in play and just
And just age, right? Like a decline in play, a decline in physical ability.
right. So
So
when you
yeah, there's a lot
combine
of things
those
going
two
against it for
things,
Fonini.
it's going to be a problem for him.
Yeah.
You know. So
But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I was just, I just stayed off of Shelton because he'd hardly played. Like, since Australia, he lost to Yaron and he lost that tough match against Rune. Like, I don't know if he was playing badly, but I didn't like it's just not a lot of tennis. And so I was a little concerned about that.
but
But yeah, it's not like
he played
Fonini's any
Rune
hot
well.
cake
Like
either.
I was impressed by that match, even though he lost it. Like that's a tough first round, and he played well.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. It just was the line was pretty. I mean, Shelton was a pretty significant favorite. I thought it was like a four, wasn't it like 4.5 games or something? Or was it closer than
Today
that?
against Fonini, yeah. And even -1.5 sets was -145. But like I was like, Fonini's not winning a set here. So
Fonini was up a break.
yeah, but
Like
his
honestly, I thought you were in trouble because Fonini was up a break.
it's true. But his serve is so like, it's a liability for him. So
Fonini, you're
like,
talking.
yeah, for Fonini,
Yeah.
like he's so easily breakable. So going up a break is not really like that troubling. I don't know.
It just is. I feel like always for Shelton because like Shelton still has some work to do on his consistency,
He
which is
does.
why I think it's harder for him to win on return.
He does. Meanwhile, Monterino and Team are in a third set breaker right now.
Brutal, brutal,
Ah,
absolutely brutal.
Team is up 2-love in the breaker as the mini break. Oh my god. Let's go to yesterday. So the match of the day yesterday was the Yabing Wu versus Munar match. I don't know how much of that you saw.
I didn't see any of it. I pretty much worked and then I went and I played tennis afterwards. So
Okay.
yeah.
That was a tremendous match. So Wu lost the first set 7-6, and then he won the second 6-love. So in order to cover 3.5, I only needed that match to get to a tiebreak. I didn't need any more. The match did get to a tiebreak, and Wu won. But I didn't need the win to cover. So that was nice. But in terms of like the match itself, it was very competitive. It was contentious at times. Uh,
Okay.
I think the match point, Wu hit a diving volley and his racket hit the net. He dropped the racket and it hit the net, and Munar disputed it because he thought that the racket hit the net before the ball bounced twice. And he kind of had a valid point, but it just like I don't know, the ump didn't really buy it. I don't know, but it was interesting.
I guess it's also more like, and it's amazing. Like, I don't know how the umps are anymore, but it's amazing at some of these events how bad the umps are.
Mm-hmm.
Like in terms of like,
Too bad.
and not I'm not even just saying line calls. I'm saying in terms of like dealing with situations and like being attentive, and I don't know.
And that's, you know, like the umps with these electronic calls, like they have nothing to do. They just need,
Yeah,
like, when they're called upon, they need to do their job, you know?
yeah.
And I feel like they're not, you know? So it's frustrating, but Yibing Wu was just more the more aggressive player, and like Munar was just kind of running everything down. And
Well, I mean that's just like I think that match is always going to be that way, right? Like,
yeah. And if that was on a fast indoor court, like that match is 3-4. And that 3.5 is not a sweat. But like at this point, he's just a better hardcore player. Yibing. So
makes sense.
yeah. Lechka minus 1.5 sets against Rinderknecht. That was I mean, that was a sweat too. That was 6-5. But Lechka's improving, getting better. Isner Nakashima. So I mean, like, did you play that match?
I played it under. I played it under 26.
And it was what, 6? So you hit, right?
Right, right, yeah. Oh, yeah. I hit. Yeah,
Yeah,
there
you
was
hit.
one break where Isner double faulted twice, and I hit. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, so I uh team went up a mini break. Oh crap. 4-2. So I was just thinking, like, Nakashima isn't the best returner. Isner is probably fresh, right? He hasn't played in a while, but like to me, him being fresh is more important than playing, because he kind of has a lot of reps and he's all serve anyway. Um, Plus, I thought that these like conditions actually help him. Like he actually prefers a slower, high bouncing court where he has more time to set up. So that was my rationale in that match. But yeah, I mean, as soon as the ball got into the rally, like Nakashima had probably like an 80-20 edge, if not more.
but that's always the case. I mean, that's Isner at this point in his career, right? You're like with Isner now. You're kind of praying for a break. Not even really like the biggest thing that Isner honestly has right now is that he's actually really good mentally.
He is. He is
Like he's
really,
actually one of the best mental players on tour, I think.
he is, yeah.
And he's like kind of underrated. Like people forget that he's like there's a lot of things that Isner like not a lot of things does well besides serve, but like he's he's got one of the best mental games on tour. And like because he's so big on serve and like just some people I think are like I think some people are like hate the fact that he's like a serve only guy so much that they're
Mhm.
blinded to him being like one of the actually also one of the best mental players on tour in
Yeah,
terms of like mental toughness, in terms of compete level, in
absolutely.
terms of professionalism, in terms of um tactics. Like he's really good.
And
It's
throughout his
very
career,
rarely
he's played the top guys really well, to be honest.
because I think he's the one guy who like believes and like actually is like willing to compete with the top guys.
Mhm. Yeah, he's one of 2 guys to take Nadal to 5 sets at the French Open. Like
Right.
just that sentence speaks for
One of three, right? Because FAA did it last year.
FAA. That's right. Good point. Yep, 1 of 3.
So it's FAA. Is it FAA? Isner and Djokovic? Is that it?
That's it. Yep, that's all.
Yeah.
Crazy. So
But yeah, I mean, but I don't necessarily blame you. And I was worried about Nakashima being injured, so the reason I took the under is I thought it could go either way. Um, but I plus the under there was like of the 3 set line, and like usually if you take a 3 set line, it's like plus 130. So to get a 3 set line at minus 120, I thought was really good.
yeah,
Um,
that's true.
so
Especially on slower courts.
yeah.
Top of
Question for
it.
you, Manny. I guess moving to a completely to moving like transitioning to another old guy. Did you
Mhm.
see Monfils at all? He lost 3-1 to Thompson.
I did not watch the match. I didn't see it. Um, yeah, I can't really comment because I didn't see it.
Yeah,
Did you see any of it?
I saw none of it. I had bet Thompson in the first set minus a game and a half. And it wasn't like I wasn't bringing it up to brag. I was just curious if you saw anything because I was interested to see what Monfils would look like after coming back, from injury. Like just what it would look like. Not even like just like what was his fitness there. Is he old? Like what's happening there? So,
I did
but
not
I mean,
bet the
obviously
match.
3-1 is not good.
I did play over 20.5 in some parlays, but I did not do a single bet on that match. Just because
Yeah, I mean, looking at the stats, I mean, Monfils 14 winners, 17 unforced. So it's kind of surprising they would have lost 3-1.
Yeah, it's hard
But
to
unforced errors are a weird stat.
Hmm?
But unforced errors are a weird stat. It feels
is.
here like they don't really judge many errors to be unforced at Indian Wells. Like it feels like their scorekeepers like are player friendly.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, Wimbledon is notorious for being the most player friendly of any of the tournaments, but yeah, I mean, I didn't see it. The scoreline didn't look good, but I mean, first match back in what, like about a year now, right?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
So,
It's been a long time for
yeah,
Monfils.
I probably should have placed a bet on Thompson, to be honest.
But I get it, man. You're just betting Jordan Thompson is like you just feel like, what am I doing? Like you feel like a complete degenerate.
You do. Like if he was playing anyone respectable, I would have definitely placed a bet against Monfils, but it's Jordan Thompson.
Yeah.
Like because talent-wise, Monfils has its leaps and bounds above Thompson, right? So if he's like kind of playing okay tennis, he probably finds a way to pull that out or make it competitive at least,
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I know you had a bet on the Giron Kovacevic match.
Yeah, so you and I differed here. I played Kovacevic on the money line. I mean, it was only plus 130, but like this is kind of similar. I mean, I just wasn't a believer in Giron. I'm still not. Like, and Kovacevic has been.
I have to interrupt you. Monarina wins.
Nice.
Monarina wins 7-5 in the tiebreak.
Nice.
Yes.
But I hate to burst your bubble. Oh wow. Sock had 40 loves serving for the set. And he just lost. He just got back to deuce. Now he got set point again, but he blew 3 set points.
All right, keep going on Giron. Sorry to get sidetracked.
Yeah, I probably went too low on your own. Like I was just frustrated because I had him in a few bets recently, and like just when Giron loses, it just sucks. He like starts crying, like
he starts
whining. His body language is so negative, and you're just like.
And Kovacevic has been good. Like
he honestly like Giron seems like the spoiled rich kid.
He does
when he's playing, and I don't know if he actually is or not. Like that's kind of offensive, but like it's just what it feels like when he's playing.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Sock took the first set from Barrere.
Okay, all right. I'm not.
You're happy though because you got through one heartburn. Now you got a second one to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. But as far as Kovacevic goes, I mean, he's been pretty good. Wait, why is this 2019 though? Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah, he won in Waco, beat Muller, beat Gojo. It's a good win.
Is it Waco or Waco? I always thought it was Waco. That's in Texas. That's a American
Waco.
City.
It's Waco.
Yeah, I thought.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
But yeah, he's been pretty good. He beat Monterey.
He won Cleveland.
Monterey. He won Cleveland. Beat Yibing Wu in the final. Like that's an excellent win.
And like Stevie Johnson's not a great player. We make fun of Stevie, but like for a challenger tour, he's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Not super bad, but like I think like all these challengers were on faster courts. Like Giron actually prefers a slower hard court.
Is Waco a fast court? I didn't realize Waco was fast.
I think it is. It's quite hot down there, so I'm assuming it is.
Yeah.
You know,
honestly, I know nothing about challenger court speeds, and like it's
Yeah.
impossible to find any data on it. So like you're just going by what you see.
Right.
And I find it really hard to I don't know, maybe some people can do it a lot better than me, but I have a really hard time judging court speed when I'm watching matches.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. But I think like besides Monorino and Yibing Wu, I think, those are the only two guys kind of on Giron's caliber, right? Of the guys he's beaten.
Yeah.
So,
But like that still is like, I mean, you still look at that, right? Like, I don't know. I thought at plus 130 he had a shot. I mean, obviously I was wrong, and like, but like
it's not a bad bet. I don't think that's
I just like, I don't know. Maybe like in my mind, it's less about Kovacevic and like what do I do with Jerome? I think I just like I think he just playing match to match. I think I just got too upset because he was like I don't know. I didn't like his attitude during the match, and I got too mad.
Right. My play of the day yesterday was Zapata Miralles against Humbert. I was very disappointed with that loss. So Humbert was coming from where was he coming from? Oh, he was coming from Dubai, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And then Zapata Miralles was coming from Santiago. Or no, he actually didn't play in Santiago. He played Rio, and then he pulled out of Santiago. But I thought like the slower conditions would kind of favor him. I thought Humbert, like the flat balls here, would just like not be that well. I thought Zapata could like extend rallies and kind of make it frustrating for Humbert. Wasn't to be. I don't know. I also like
I still love Zapata's attitude, man.
Yeah, you gotta love it. He was kind of like I saw some of the match. He was just kind of overmatched. Like the balls he wasn't used to the balls coming that quickly to him, and he didn't really adjust as well as I thought he would to the.
Well, that's Zapata's problem, right? Like he's not quick. Like
Right.
quick is not how I would describe Zapata.
He runs quick, but he's not like quick in terms of reacting to the ball.
He doesn't have quick hands, he doesn't have quick like body movements. That's what I'm saying. He's not quick. He's fast. He's not quick.
Okay. Makes sense.
He's kind of like Taylor Fritz. He's like an extreme version of Taylor Fritz, who's obviously not as good.
Mm-hmm.
But like where he's like he's stiff. Like I think he's actually stiffer than Fritz.
Yeah, it's probably true. I don't know. Maybe I played that because I was so impressed by how he did in the Golden Swing.
I mean, his mental attitude's awesome. Like I don't blame you for betting that. I stayed away just because like that was a match like one guy coming from Dubai and one guy coming from clay to hardcore is just to me like to me that equals just stay away. That's just like a lot of variables and like ew.
Probably smart. My bet of the day yesterday, or my best win of the day, not bet that I had the most confidence in, but was the Woob versus Bublik match at plus 240 money line.
Yeah, that was a great hit. That was a great hit.
So if that match was during the day, I would not hit it because like Bublik's serve would be more potent in the daytime conditions, but the fact that it's at night in the desert conditions, I was listening to a lot of other podcasts. They say that it considerably slows down. It slows down at least 30% at night.
Well, that's because the temperature goes down in the desert at night.
Right.
I mean, it probably drops 20 degrees. Like, I wonder what the match time temp is right now for guys playing right now. Because it might actually be cold. And that's something to consider. Right now it is 65 degrees at 9 o'clock at night.
It's chilly. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cold for a men's for a pro match. Like usually, if it gets below 60,
yeah.
And you're right; it's almost always sunny there. So in terms of on court temp, you're probably especially like surface temp, you might lose 25 degrees.
Also, Bublik was coming all the way from Dubai, right? Wu qualified, right? And he played pretty well in the qualifying, right? He won pretty easily. So that just screamed Wu at plus 240. I just love that value. And I was shocked at it.
It was never Bublik. Like we talked about this pre-match. Like, it was never Bublik. I almost bet Wu. I didn't. But I did. Like, again, I just stay away from a lot of first round stuff. But like you're your call here was good. I mean, this was never Bublik. Like I was never gonna bet any kind of bet here on Bublik. I was not
Yeah.
over 12.5, not anything. This was the only way to play this thing is how you played it, or maybe to take Wu in the games. But I mean, you won with the plus 240, so
Well, we also talked about it. Bublik is a guy that we account professionalism with, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like 20% of the time, he's not going to be professional and try. So
yep,
we have to account for that. So that goes into the plus 240. You
it
know.
does, yeah.
So, yeah. Anything else you want to add about the first round? Did you have any other things?
Not really. Not really. I didn't think there was any, like a whole lot of other this first round is like it's like they seed 32 in this tournament. So
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't think there were any I didn't think there were any like great guys that got upset here. Did you?
Not really.
Like were there any guys that you thought were gonna like make runs that got upset? Murray got through. It was a 3-setter, but Murray got through. So that was kind of interesting, but
Yeah.
he made it through, so it's not
Another 3-hour match for him. I mean,
yeah.
it just seems like it doesn't matter who he plays. It's just going to be a crazy 3-hour match.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
But I mean, credit to him. I mean, his mental toughness is absolutely ridiculous. Like that, he still finds a way to
Yeah.
get through these matches. Struff got through. Pedro, Ben Shelton, Rinky.
Now, I don't think there's anything else we talked about that's
Olshan,
interesting. Like most of the
Vucevic,
other stuff is like clay court guys.
Mosque, Monterino. I do think Wawrinka is a favorite against Kecmanovic here.
I think so too.
I don't think he necessarily gets past that though, especially if he has to play Holger Rune. Nakashima, he's going to lose to Medvedev, Ivashka. I mean, they've played already twice this year, but Bodik was a little bit better in Dubai. We'll get into that.
I mean, in terms of first round results, I don't really see anything else that was too interesting. Ott finally won a match, but I mean,
Yep.
being Jiri on hard doesn't tell me a whole
You
lot.
don't see him getting past Kachanov.
Oh, I mean, I guess we could talk a little bit. I mean, Schwartzman killed Corey, which is a good look for him. I didn't see the match. I mean, that could have easily just been Corey also being awful.
Corey was awful. He made like a gazillion errors. Like it wasn't impressive by him. Like I don't put much stock into that. I mean, obviously Lechka is a good sleeper. I mean, he has a tough match against Rublev, but like if he gets past that, he could make a run, I guess. But other than that, like none of these guys, like I don't think
I just think like they seeded 32 in a 96-man draw. I think it just like kills the excitement of the first round, to be honest.
It does.
Because like it's fun for betting, but like there's just not a whole lot of like
yeah.
I don't know. There's not a whole lot of like meaningful matches. Not like for the tournament. You know what I mean? Like, I actually one of my futures bets is no unseeded player to make the final at minus 310. Because like of these guys, like who do you think can make a run here? Like the only guy I can come up with is Lechka.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Maybe Wawrinka, maybe.
Really? No, I don't think so. That's a lot of matches. You think Wawrinka's going to come back and win 5? You think he's going to be like, he has to play well 5 matches.
I'm not saying he will, and it's a total long shot, but like he's probably like up there in terms of the unseeded players.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to talk about other long shots like Manarino and Gasquet, maybe are long shots, like they're playing kind of decent, but like how are these guys going to beat these top? Like, how are these guys going to go through 3 or 4?
I actually think that's a really good bet, considering they're 32 seeds. Like if they're only 16, okay.
Well, and 32 of the non-seeded guys are automatically knocked out in the first round.
Right. That's a good point.
So I get as many seeds as non-seeds. Yeah.
Just doing the math.
Like, I get 32, the other side gets 32, and I get the best 32.
I like that. And you got that at plus 310?
No, minus 310.
Oh yeah, but obviously minus 310.
Yeah, you're lying major, but minus 310 didn't seem that bad. Like, do you think
that's pretty good. I thought
like
that
who
would be
here's
like
making the final like a quarter of the time.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean that's a good segue into our future bets. So
well, do we talk draws and bring in futures with it? I think maybe
sure. Let's talk about the draw. So let's start up top. So we got Carlos Alcaraz. He'll play Kokkinakis in the first round.
That's an interesting
Second
match.
round.
I mean, I think Alcaraz wins that, but if they put that on at night, that could be interesting.
I agree. Daytime would favor Alcaraz.
I think so. Like, even though it favors Kokkinakis serve, I think the fitness.
Yeah, I actually think that these conditions favor Alcaraz in general in the desert, right? Because it kind of plays like clay, but
Yeah, yeah, I think a
he
slow hard
hits,
probably
but he
favors
also
Alcaraz.
hits big enough to, kind of penetrate this slow court.
Yeah,
That being said, I'm not betting him in any futures. I don't know if you are, just because of the question marks with his injury.
yeah, I'm not. I have no
Oh,
futures on Alcaraz. No,
okay.
no. I actually think that makes this whole this whole top section really tough to play. Because and on top of that, like, this is not an easy section. So like
It's not.
Kokkinakis is like, that's a losable match. I'm not saying Kokkinakis is going to win, but like, I don't know. Like, if that comes out at plus 1,000, if the money line theoretically came out at like minus 2,500 and plus 1,000 for Kokkinakis, I might bet Kokkinakis.
Mm. I'm more interested in playing Greek Spore against
Well, so
Alcaraz.
that's what I was going to go with next. So you have that. Then, even if he wins that, then, or he will win. I mean, not he will, but he'll win. 90% chance he wins that. Then
Mhm.
he's got Greeks poor next. That's not a given.
No, it's not a given.
Draper's floating down there. I mean, Draper's
I actually think he's a favorite against Evans based on
oh,
that
for sure.
line.
Evans been so bad.
Right.
Um, I mean, this whole bottom section actually is like Murray. Actually, I think is the favorite down here of all four of these guys.
Probably. Probably.
Um,
I mean, I think Alcaraz's road to the quarters, his toughest match is probably Greek Spore. To be honest.
who does he play? Yeah, to the quarters. Yeah, to the
To the
quarters. Yeah,
quarters,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, just his health is a question mark. Um, and then going into the next 16, you got Hubert Hurkacz. He'll play the winner of Paparin and Zhang. Struff against Paul. See, that's an interesting quarter with Hurkacz and Paul there as a
No
potential
interesting section.
around
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
That's
I
very
actually think
interesting.
Paul probably is. I think Paul is like a pretty obvious favorite to get through that. Just play style wise, if he like, I think he just matches up really well with Hurkacz. I'm not sure what the head to head is
Does
there.
the physical week in Acapulco concern you with Paul? Like the fact that, it was
Not against Struff for Hurkacz. It does after that, but not because like is Hurkacz. Are there going to be a lot of long drawn out rallies in Hurkacz Paul?
Mm, there might be, because I don't think this court is the best for Hubie, but once the rally starts, Hubie tends to play more defensive.
He does, but he's fast for a big guy, but I wouldn't say he's fast.
I think it's kind of like a pick 'em match. I think Paul's a slight favorite, very slight.
I'm sure that's what the books will say.
Probably.
Hubie struggled a little bit, you know. I mean, not that Paul hasn't. He lost to Albop, but outside of that one just really strange loss, like,
Yeah, but it's an interesting section. It's very, very interesting. And on the last 32, you got Cerundolo, the winner of Barrera Sock. You got Pedro Martinez and FAA. So it's a good draw for FAA.
it's a great draw for FAA, and I actually think FAA has a chance against Alcaraz. I think he's 2-0 head to head.
He is, but I don't know if he necessarily gets Paul or Hubie.
Oh well, that's why I think the trying to remember. I think FAA to make the semis was like plus 500, and I didn't bet it. I didn't take it because, to your point, like, I don't necessarily know that FAA could actually lose to anybody. Like, he has that's a problem for him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So basically, I almost, but I do think he's a potential out roadblock though. If he's got a good shot against Alcaraz if he gets there. So that's basically I didn't take anybody in this section because of that. Like I think ironically like all these guys like the way this section plays out, they all just kind of like cancel each other and make any bets on anything here crappy.
So I have a long shot parlay with the quarter winners. I bet like all 4 quarter winners.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll save it for like once we go through all the quarters. But
all right.
I like the value with Hubie at plus 900 to win the quarter. You get Paul at plus, I think it was plus 800. And then like Alcaraz was plus 200 and FAA was plus 500 in that area. I don't like Alcaraz because of the question marks and the injury, as I mentioned before. FAA just like, I don't know, he's just not consistent enough in the earlier rounds for me to really trust him, even though I like his draw. And like Hubie has been pretty good. Like he played pretty well against Djokovic in Dubai. He's
been
won
up and down.
outside.
He lost a set to Reedy.
He loses sets, but he still finds ways to win matches.
Yeah, but that's not good. Well, yeah, maybe that's okay here. It's only a best of 3. And I'm looking up Hubie.
Plus 900 value though, like that's really good.
It's a good price. I just like, I don't know, man. Like, Hubie has one. Hubie has. I mean, he hasn't played anybody like great this year. Like, what's his best win this year so far? Agu, Shapovalov. He lost to Dimitrov. He lost to Korda in the Australian Open. That was a tough match against Korda, but he lost to Dimitrov. Again, another tough match, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, lost to Korda. Yeah.
Like his record looks good, I'll agree. But like, I don't know, like he's gonna have to beat 3 guys who are better, or maybe not, but he'll probably have to beat at least 2 guys, if not 3, who are better than anybody he's played this year.
I'm not betting him to win the tournament. I'm betting him to win the quarter.
To win the quarter, I'm saying he's probably have to play 3 guys who are like if he has to play Paul, FAA, and Alcaraz, I don't think he's better than 10% chance to win those 3 back to back.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, again, it's a long shot parlay. But like I think that's the best value. Do you think FAA has better value there, or Paul has better value to win?
I don't think anybody has value here. This is a complete stay away to me.
Okay. All right. Fair.
No, I don't hate the pick. Honestly, I don't hate the pick. Like, if you really wanted to bet somebody to win this quarter, I don't hate it because, like, to your point, there's nobody else to pick. I just think that like there's just nobody. Like, this is just a dead stay away quarter to me.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next quarter, we got Fritz and Shelton. That's a popcorn second round match. That's amazing. Rinky against Baez. You got Korch against Molchan. Fujovic against Demanur. So let's go through that 16 first. So, do you think Shelton has any shot against Fritz?
Yeah.
I agree with you. I mean, I don't like the fact that Fritz is coming into this tournament after vomiting on the court in Acapulco. Like that's not the image you want to see, especially when he has all these points to defend. You know, another thing with Fritz is that he kind of like, he's better when he's flying under the radar. Like he's coming in as a defending champion. So I think that could play games with him mentally a little bit.
I don't know. Like
difficult
when has he not been under the radar?
But like he's never come into an event where he's like this, where he's defending champion.
So what makes you say that he's not going to be good in that role? Maybe he'll thrive. Maybe he'll relish that role and be great at it.
He doesn't like particularly strike me as someone who's like really good under pressure or like when expectations are high. He doesn't strike me as the most mentally tough guy out there. And like when there are higher expectations, you have to rely on that more. I'm just going based on pure intuition, or like how would I feel about the guy?
Yeah, I don't
It's
have
not
any
backed
feeling
by
either way about it.
statistics or
Like,
anything. But
I
I
don't know.
just think
I think
he might struggle in this spot.
I don't think it's gonna like make it like I don't know. I don't have any feeling about that. Like I have no idea. And I don't think it's like I mean, yeah, my bet is gonna if I had to bet it's gonna do nothing. Like nothing bad or good, but I don't know. Um I actually placed a 25-1 futures on Fritz to win before the season to win Indian Wells to defend. So
Okay. Interesting. Interesting. That being said, all that being said, I do think he has a pretty weak quarter. Um,
well,
and
this section is terrible outside of Shelton. And this court doesn't really play. This court plays better for Fritz than Shelton. Um, I mean, honestly, the toughest. Well, I don't think this quarter is that like. Yeah, I don't know.
I have a future on him to win the quarter at 6-1, Fritz, despite what I said. I like the price on that, considering he's by far the second best player in this quarter, or he might even be the first after Sinner. But besides him and Sinner, who could you even see winning this quarter?
Um, Demonor because it's a weak quarter, and I can see Room winning this quarter.
But I don't know. I don't really trust Rune after what he went through in Acapulco.
Acapulco is a lot more humid, right? This is a lot less humid. It's actually not as hot. Like usually your temps here, are like I mean, it's good weather.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just got so much
Drier.
talent in like that Room Center match. If it happens, it's gonna be fireworks.
Yeah.
Um,
Sinner pretty short odds to win this quarter. I think he was like
I
plus.
saw 5-1.
I saw plus 250 when I checked today.
I checked like a few days ago, so maybe something changed those couple days. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you have a
but
quarter
even at
winner?
that, I couldn't hit it because like I actually think in terms of tennis, like maybe, but I have a really hard time ever betting Sinner on a futures because like I can't bet he's gonna make it through the tournament without getting hurt. Like that's 9 days. He has to like not trip, not fall, like not get out of the hotel room without getting hurt. Like there's a lot of things that have to happen. He has to play, 4 matches without getting hurt. Like
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel like he's kind of ready to turn the corner on that. Like don't you feel like he's
I don't think so. No, I mean, have you looked at him? Does he look any
Yeah,
more
no,
jacked?
he's still pretty skinny, but like,
Which I think is the problem.
but see, if this was Miami where he already played this event, then I'd struggle to pick him, right? But he's had a couple weeks off. He's kind of coming off a layoff, and before the layoff, he played pretty well in Rotterdam, and he won Montpellier, right? So
Yeah.
like
Well, pure
since he's
tennis.
coming
It's
through,
not a tennis thing. Like I actually think Sinner's a decent bet here to win the quarter. Um, on pure tennis, I just don't trust him to stay. I think he's a decent bet. You're right. I don't think I got him at plus. I don't think I saw him at plus. I think I saw him at the plus 250. I was confusing with Fritz. I actually put
okay.
my pick here was Fritz at plus 500 to win this quarter.
And yeah, to me, despite me not liking the spot with Fritz, I think he's clearly the second best player in the quarter, and I think at 6-1, there's good value there.
Yeah, I mean, I had 5, and I thought there was enough value to take it. Like,
Yeah.
this is a court that should play well for Fritz, actually.
Well, he's played well here in the past, right?
Well, obviously, he's the defending
He
champ.
won the tournament, and then the year before that, like the time they had it in October, he made the semis.
Yeah.
So he
Well, but
played
it makes
well here in
sense,
the
right?
past.
Like,
And he grew up
this
here.
should play really well for him.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like it should play well. Like, like I think slow hard is really good for him because he like time helps him because he's kind of stiff, but he's not like the best mover on clay. So I think this is like an ideal spot for him. He's also a California kid. He's another Cali kid. So I think
Yep, he
that
grew up here.
has some
Yep.
benefit.
I actually think Shelton might be the toughest match to get to the quarters, to be honest with you.
No, no. I mean, if he has to play
The,
Sinner or Rune, that's a way tougher
no,
match.
to get to the quarters, because he would play
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
Demon Or's a pain match. Like I actually think Demon Or's a tougher match than Shelton
probably slightly.
on a slow hard where he get Demon Or's time to move
But
and run
we've
around.
talked about it. Demon were actually, well, does he prefer a faster hard or a slower hard? Maybe he prefers a slower hard after winning in Acapulco, but
I think he just likes a hard. Like I think a clay is bad for him,
hmm,
but I think any hard is decent for him. I don't know.
okay. Yeah. So I have in this quarter, I have Fritz to win the quarter at plus 600, and then I have Sinner to win the tournament at plus 2,800.
I don't hate that at all. I don't hate
Uh,
that's a good long shot pick. Sinner at 28. I like that.
was it 28? No, it was plus 1,000.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I wish it was
It's
plus.
okay. That's okay. That's not horrendous.
Yeah, I like what I saw from Sinner in Rotterdam. He's also on the opposite side of the draw as Medvedev, right?
Yeah.
So he wouldn't play
I
Medvedev.
don't know. I mean, I have the same. It's the same reason that I'm not taking Sinner. Like tennis wise, I think that's. I don't think there's any value there. But I don't think it's like a bad bet. I think there's like roughly
Yeah,
zero value there. The problem is I think there's a non-zero chance Sinner doesn't make the tournament healthy. So anytime I see a Sinner futures, I downgrade it by 10% because I think I think there's at least
fair.
that odds he gets hurt.
And to me, if this was Miami, if we were talking about Miami, where he already played Indian Wells and didn't have a layoff, 100% with you. But the fact that he's been off for a couple weeks, I think he should be fully healthy. Like I don't
I mean, he
think.
got hurt to start the season, didn't he? First tournament of the year, didn't he get hurt?
Yeah,
I mean, like legitimately, that's the crazy thing. The guy can't make it through 3 matches without getting hurt.
true. Without some niggles, yeah. I
Like
hear you.
it's like the logic. Your logic is like I'm 100% down with it. It just the
But to
Sinner
me,
just
I
like
think there's more
defies.
value in betting Sinner to win the tournament at plus 1,000 than to win the
Yeah,
quarter
I
plus
think
200.
I think so, but I don't like.
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's like 10% chance he gets hurt, and I think that to me makes it not a good bet. Just that like
Okay.
tennis wise, I think it's fine. It's just I don't know. He's a
Hmm.
really like he's a really hard to guy to bet a tournament. They have to win 6 matches on, right? Like when
Right.
we bet him in Montpelier, I think he only had to win 3 matches. Like that was much more reasonable.
Fair. But you're not getting plus 1,000. You're getting plus 350.
Right, right. But like I can buy into Sinner winning 3 matches. I have a hard time buying into him winning 6. Also having to beat several times. I think he's probably over that hump of not being able to beat top guys, but it's still a little concerning.
Okay. All right. That's fair. To me, it was the fact that he's on the opposite side of Medvedev, who he struggles with. He actually matches up pretty well with Alcaraz. He's played him tough and pretty
Yep.
well.
Yep.
I actually think he matches up pretty well against FAA, to be honest, if they do play. Um, what's the head-to-head there?
All your tennis logic makes sense, Manny. Tennis wise, I don't think it's a terrible bet.
Okay, it's the
It's just
question
the
marks
injury
with the
risk.
fitness, right? I mean, FAA does have a 2-0 head-to-head. We were there for the Cincinnati one, and then this one was clay. So that's really their only hard court
And
meet.
that's why I guess I don't really buy into that head to head.
Yeah, it's pretty much a wash. So all right. Moving on to the next quarter, you got Medvedev. He's the odds-on favorite to win the event. He'll play Nakashima, Ivashka and Bodik, Bautista Agut-Rusevori, Kachin Zverev, Kachanov Ote, Wu Davidovich, Yoshi Garin, and Diego and Rude. Wow, what an easy quarter for Medvedev. Holy
Yeah, he's minus 130 to win this quarter, and I hit that. Because like, do you see anybody here that has any chance against Medvedev? Like the only chance here is Medvedev just sleepwalks.
Yeah, and I don't think he will. He seems pretty hungry to me. So
Yeah, like who has the second best chance in this quarter?
it's gotta be Zverev. Well, no, Zverev is in Medvedev 16, so it's probably not Zverev. It's probably Kachanov.
Yeah, but Kachanov looked. I mean, he's played one match since Australia and he got whipped by who beat him 2-5. Somebody killed Kachanov. It's not good.
Uh, was it Bodic?
It was Bodic. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, meanwhile, my parlay is dead because
It's not over yet. Saka's up 5-2. We might you could have a retirement.
oh Jesus. Yeah, I mean, so how much stock are you putting into the fact that Medvedev won 3 tournaments in a row? He could come into this event fatigued.
I am putting stock into it, but I still am hammering him just because the draw. Like this top, especially this top 16, like even play style wise, like which of these guys is an annoying matchup to play? Maybe Zverev, but I think that's pretty straightforward. Especially, I mean, look, Zverev's looking better, but he still got beat pretty good by Rublev. Like he's still not looking like he's top 10.
No, that's not a problem.
So like who here like even looks tricky? Like
Bautista
if
Agut
Isner won,
in
what?
good form, like if he was playing like
Agut's form has been horrendous.
no,
Even
he's been
Australia wasn't
terrible,
that good.
right? But if he was like where he once was like 2 or 3 years ago, then maybe
100%. Yeah, but that's not RB. RB is done.
No,
I
it's
think.
irrelevant now.
Yeah.
Nakashima is a bad matchup for him. He eats Bodic for breakfast. Zverev, no. I mean, Kachanov, we saw what he did to Kachanov in Adelaide.
But you're already talking about the quarters then. So yeah, he's gonna play somebody tough in the quarters, maybe. Like I think actually this little section here, Kachanov, not to whatever, but like if he has to play Kachanov, Yibing, or ADF in the quarters, like that's a moderately difficult match. But still, for a quarter, like that's not bad. But I'm saying that's a tricky match. Like I could see Medvedev losing to any of those guys. That's not saying he will. I'm saying there's like a 5 to 10% chance he could lose to one of those guys.
5 to 10%. Yeah, and then all these guys on the bottom. I mean, like
Yoshi is another guy he could lose to, like because Yoshi could just hit a lot of like if Medvedev's missing, if Medvedev's having an off day, or like Yoshi could annoy Medvedev because he's not gonna like give him anything to hit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what price did you get Medvedev to win the quarter?
Minus 130 to win the quarter.
I think that's excellent. I just don't see
right, because like I'm saying, I'm trying to come up with narratives as to how Medvedev could lose, and you're shaking your head and like not believing any of them.
No, I'm not believing any of them. And this is like, I'm someone who's kind of like not wanting to really hit futures on him because of the fact that he's won 3 tournaments in a row. Like, how many guys win 4 tournaments in a row? Like, I don't know how many times it's ever happened, right?
Yeah.
Also, I don't think these conditions really help him, right? To be honest, kind of slow, high bouncing, hard court. It's probably like in terms of a hard court, it's probably the worst hard court for him, right? Like he's a beast on hard court, but like this particular hard court is probably the worst one for him.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I think his movement still helps him here. His movement still helps him here. Like his defense, right? Defense is a premium weapon here, and he'll still have that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, going to the last quarter, you got Andrei Rublev against Yuri Lechka. That's a popcorn match.
Yeah, right. There's your second round popcorn match.
That's a
really, and it's really the only one, I think.
I think Fritz and Shelton.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's. I just think Fritz is actually going to win that. Like, I think Shelton has a chance, but I think Fritz will win that pretty easily.
Well,
Like I actually like.
I'm very curious to see what the line is, because if it's like 3.5, I'd be tempted to hit Shelton.
I'd rather hit Shelton money line. I just don't like. I don't see Shelton losing a close match there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess he could, right? But like, I like. It's just like I just don't think like we haven't really seen Shelton on slow hard either. And like, I don't know if beating up Fognini counts as like really seeing him.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I just really like what I'm seeing from Shelton, just in terms of like his game, his eye test, that like the eye test. And
I just feel like his game should play better on a fast court.
yeah. I mean, what price would you hit it if you would you hit Shelton money line at?
And I might get it like
250?
maybe 250, 300.
Okay. Well, we'll see. I don't know if the second round lines are up, but we'll certainly
Yeah.
talk about that. But going back to this last quarter, you got Rublev and Lechka, you got Umber Shapovalov, Berrettini.
Man, what another mess of a section, huh?
Tommy Wu against Nori, Tiafo, Giron, Kubler, Dimitrov, Cressy, Tabio, Thompson, and Tsitsipas. So I'm not touching Tsitsipas because I think he's kind of playing with an injury, is what I've heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How did he get hurt? He's barely played. I guess he got hurt practicing.
Yeah, I heard he didn't want to miss these tournaments, so he's like still kind of he decided to play, but he says he's recovering from a right shoulder injury.
Okay.
And he already said in the presser, I'm still recovering and I won't pretend that I have a chance to do well in these next 2 tournaments. I don't think I'll be capable of going deep.
That's a goofy thing to say.
Yeah, the priority is to prepare my body for the clay court swing.
That's a goofy thing to say. Wow.
Very goofy.
Wow, that's interesting. I did not look at that.
So obviously stay away from Tsitsipas if he's saying that.
Yeah, I did not hit that. But I did not see that he said that. But that does make that makes this quarter more interesting. Who else is in this quarter?
In terms of the top guys, you got Cam Nori, you got Berrettini, and you got
Rublev and yeah.
So I have a very clear play on this quarter, and
I do too.
I'm actually playing him in terms of winning this quarter and winning the tournament.
Who are you playing? Foe?
No.
Okay.
Is that who you're playing?
No. I'm gonna guess it's whoever wins between Rublev and Lechka, but I'm not sure which guy. I would laugh if you're gonna play Red. You wouldn't.
I'm not playing either. I'm not playing either of those guys. You got it wrong
Nori?
again.
You love Nori too. Nori's one of your boys. Also, you're gonna play Nori.
I'm gonna play Nori.
Yeah.
Is that who you're playing?
No. My play is Lechka. Lechka's at 14-1 to win this quarter. And I just think the price is too good. I get it. Rublev's a tough match. Like, it could go bust right away. But if he wins that, like, who else is stopping him? Nori.
Yeah, and Lechka did beat him in Australia.
Right. And that yeah, so Lechka. Also, like, I mean, Nori went and played the Golden Swing, so he's coming off of that. We talked about how it was kind of a weird decision.
Okay.
And
you're only playing
Acapulco, right?
Huh?
Nori did not play Acapulco.
He played Dubai, and he lost to Zverev.
No, Nori?
Oh, no. Yeah, Nori, he pulled out of Acapulco. I'm talking about Lechka.
Yeah, so he's coming straight from Clay. Like, the last time we saw him on hardcourt was losing to Lechka. And, like, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't think Nori looked that good. He won matches, and he played that great match against Alcaraz in the final. Like, that was amazing. But like outside of that, man, he lost like,
So
and these are clay grinders, so I get it, they're tough, but like he lost a lot of sets on his way to the finals in Buenos Aires, and then I didn't think he looked that good in Rio either. Like he wasn't smoking guys left and right.
yeah, but he's just such a tough out. He's such a tough out, and I feel like he can work his hardcore form. Like he could work his hardcore form like in the early rounds. I think he's going to
I
be
have no
really
doubt he
easily,
gets to the round of 16.
and I
I just
think
think
he
that
beats
Lechka's a better
Berrettini.
pick than I
Berrettini's
actually
healthy right
think
now.
Lechka's a better pick than Nori right now. Or at least it's damn close. And the better price was on Lechka, and I get it. He has to beat Rublev. That's the huge blocker, but I don't know.
Whereas I think Nori is a pretty safe bet to get to the round of 16 or quarters. You know, I mean,
Well,
he
I
has
don't think it's safe to the quarters, so he's got to beat Lechka probably. And I don't think that's. I mean,
love,
I
yeah,
think it's a close match. Like basically, like I looked at the Nori. I think Nori. What did you get Nori at to win the quarter?
plus 600.
Right. So that and so I saw the same thing, and so I thought that there was a. I'm getting double the price to get Lechka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got plus 650 to win the quarter.
Yeah, and I got 14 to on Lechka. So that's what it was. It was about price.
But that's just to get to the quarters, right?
No, to
And
win the quarter. Sorry, 14 is Lechka to win the
14
quarter.
to win the quarter. But then where is it? So he'd have to. But once Lechka gets to the quarter, he still has to beat like a Tiafo
Or Dimitrov.
or Dimitrov or Cressy or Sissipas. But I guess if Sissipas isn't even healthy, I guess you can't even assume that he's going to get there. Yeah, that's a pretty weak 16 if you kind of
Like
take
there's nobody that Lechka can't beat in this quarter.
You may have talked me into that one. I might play both. I might play Nori at 6.5 to 1.
I don't
And
think that's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, you actually could play Nori. Well, what is Rublev to win? But Rublev's probably terrible odds to win the quarter. I actually looked at that. I think Rublev was like 3-1 or something, or 2-1 to win the
yeah,
quarter.
no,
It wasn't very
that's not
good.
worth it, right? Yeah. I mean, he would be my second pick. Lechka for sure.
I just don't like I don't like the matchup for Nori against Rublev or Lechka if he has to play like in a round of 16. I get it. He's mentally tough, rally tolerance. Like everybody loves Cam Nori, and I get it. But
And something has to be said about him winning here before. Like sometimes you come back to a place that you've done well at, and like
that's true.
or
That's
better.
true. That's true. That
Um,
is very
and
true.
I think the fact that he has a pretty easy draw, like this is a bad Berrettini. Like this is a Berrettini that's not healthy.
Oh yeah, like I have no doubt he gets through the round of 16. This isn't a.
Yeah.
This isn't
So
because of
I think he
This
can
is
work his way into form. And that's why I like him. Plus, I love him a futures pick like to win the event at 28 to 1. Because yes, he's in Medvedev's half, but if he gets through that, like he could beat anyone in the top half, to be honest. It's 28 to 1. It's a long shot.
yeah.
But he's 1 year
No, it's not
behind.
bad. That's actually better than probably 650 to win the quarter. I just think like I don't think he matches up well with whoever wins that Rublev Lechka match. Yeah.
Does he have positive head-to-heads against Rublev?
Well, he got killed by him at the US Open. He got smoked.
2-1. Yeah, 4-4-4 last year at the Open.
2-1. I mean, granted, that was,
There you go.
that's 3 years ago, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm just remembering that. And, like, I guess it would make sense that somebody who can hit big could hit like you could hit through Rublev. Or not through Rublev, through Nori, I would think. Right, like Nori's best thing, right, is like tactics and rally tolerance.
Yeah, and Rublev was good in Dubai, you know. Did make the final there. He had
Yeah.
tough matches along the way, but that should give him some confidence.
I mean, I actually think that Rublev is the deserved favorite to get through here to the semis. I just didn't like the price.
Yeah. And I love Lechka, don't get me wrong. It's hard for me to bet a futures on someone where their first match is the hardest match.
I get it. I
You
get
know,
it. I
or the
get it.
second match, like
I get it.
he was gonna play Rublev in the like third round or like the next round or even the 16s, like I'd be so much more enticed to do that.
I
But
guess I'm looking at it like I wouldn't care. Like I wouldn't feel any better about Lechka if you flipped him and Humber in the draw.
I'd feel a little better about it, to be honest. Because then
Because like it's not
because then
like
there's a chance that Rublev loses too.
to who? To Hugo?
No, but at least he has to play a match, and if he's like, gets hurt or something, like I don't
I
know.
guess. I guess. Fair,
You
fair,
know?
fair. I mean, yeah, you're right.
I like the play though. Like I'm considering putting something on it. Like I think the only plays in this quarter are Lechka and Nori. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Nori play either. I don't think it's like horrendous. I just yeah.
All right, so let's go through your futures. I think we talked about no unseeded player to reach the finals.
Yep.
Medvedev to win the tournament at
So
plus
I have the second
30.
quarter to win. I think that's Fritz's quarter
How'd
to
you
win
get
at 325, just because I think that if like I think Sinner is, obviously like I just talk about how much I hate on Sinner because of the injury risk, but like tennis wise, I think like if Sinner makes it through, I think he's got a shot. Holger Rune's got a shot, right? He can beat anybody. Like that second quarter, whoever makes it through has a shot.
And I like the fact that they're on the opposite half of Medvedev.
I do too. I do
So
too.
that's actually a pretty good play. I like that.
Um, and then and then I have Medvedev win the tournament. Like he's just like 230 is not a great price, but like his draw is just so easy. His draw is complete cake. Like where is the first guy that can beat him? I mean, I guess like you start talking about the round of 16, like I guess he could lose that. Um
Medvedev. I really don't see. I'm looking at this quarter like for the fourth time. Like I don't see anyone in this quarter who can possibly beat him.
I mean, I honestly think
Unless
like maybe like ADF or something. Just because like if ADF plays amazing and it's just like doing ADF like stupid ADF things from like all over the court, like or maybe like Yibing comes out and plays amazing. Like I don't think any of it's likely, but like or maybe Yoshi pisses him off because Yoshi just like loops balls back and that annoys Medvedev. Like like but I have to go with these like ridiculous narratives. We're just like and
yeah,
we're
there
all
are
like,
ridiculous narratives.
but like I don't know. I guess if it's like if that money line came out at like plus 1,500, would you bet Yoshi at plus 1,500 against Medvedev?
I don't think so.
Plus 50? Plus 5,000?
Then I would. Yeah.
Like there's some price, right? My point is like there's some price. You can't just say no to everything. But
Right.
like I don't know. I think like I'd be tempted at plus 1,500, plus 2,000 to take Yoshi, and you won't get that line. But like, you know,
And he has the weakest top seed in his quarter, Casper Ruud. I
oh
mean,
yeah.
so
Actually, look at that draw for Yoshi, man. Just from a pure tennis perspective, like honestly, like Garen could come out of this like no, like really, we don't think like I don't know. Yoshi hasn't looked good lately either.
he hasn't. I don't know. I mean, we'll get into these individual matches later.
Yeah,
But you also have Medvedev to win without dropping a set at plus 1,600.
pure price play.
Okay. All right.
He did it in Dubai. He just did it last week.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I wouldn't
This is
do
a
it
tougher
just
event,
because,
no
like,
doubt, but like he did it last week. I think the week before he dropped one to O'Connell. I think the week before he
right,
dropped one to Sinner. So like he's
right.
done it already once. He's come close twice. Like, do I think it's gonna happen? No. Did I think it was worth plus 1,600? Yeah.
Okay. Interesting play. I like it. I like it. I can buy it just because his draw is so easy.
Well, that
As
was the thinking, right? Like, yeah, if he had a tough draw, you would never do it. But like,
yeah. As far as my futures, I have Nori to win the fourth quarter at plus 650. I'm probably going to throw the Lechka in as well. Fritz to win the second quarter plus 400. I like Sinner to win the tournament at plus 1,000. I prefer Sinner to win the second quarter. I just didn't like the price. I preferred the Fritz price. So that I'm just taking price into account there. Nori to win the tournament at plus 2,800. And then my long shot parlay, I got Hurkacz to win the first quarter, Sinner to win the second quarter, Medvedev to win the third quarter, and Nori to win the fourth quarter at 378 to 1. So we'll see. We'll see. I think the first quarter is the most iffy one. But you know, if I played Alcaraz or even Felix, that brings those odds way down, you know?
yeah,
So
yeah. And I
um
get it. Like, there was just nobody good in that top quarter to play. That's why I didn't like, you know, yeah, I just don't like that top quarter. To me is a complete mess. And there's
yeah.
not even like a fun unseeded guy to bet.
No.
Like, there's just nobody. Like,
And if Alcaraz is 100% healthy, he's clearly the favorite, right?
right, right,
But there's just that question mark with him.
right.
All right, so interesting draw. I mean, it feels a
It
little
feels really weak, doesn't it? Is
feels a
that
little
just
bit
because
weak.
Djokovic? Well, you know what it is, because Djokovic isn't playing. Tsitsipas is hurt. He's admitted it.
Right, Rude is
Alcaraz is maybe injured.
right. Rude is not in good form.
Fritz is in okay form. Medvedev, Rublev, Rune. There's no Nadal. So like, but that, I mean, four of the top nine guys are not playing or have major question marks. So it is a weak draw.
Yeah, and then like Fritz and Rune just cramped big time in their last match. Like that's our last memory of those guys. So it's hard for me to pick them to win the event. You know, when I know
I'm okay with that, like because Acapulco is so much hotter and humid.
I
Like this isn't,
guess, but
but like weather usually plays a role in cramps. You don't see too many guys cramp in like 60, 70-degree weather.
it's true.
Um, but yeah, there's just not like
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys. I mean, when you have three or four of the top guys out, it's just very it really brings down the draw quality.
Yeah, also it's a 96 player draw, right? So they're going to be more spread out, the guys. So
Yeah, but there's more of them too, right? Because this is a mandatory, so most of the top guys play. Again, that's
right.
the problem, is that four of the top nine guys aren't playing.
Yeah. All right, let's get into round 2 lines.
Yep.
All right. Did you look at any of these lines?
No, I didn't get a chance to look at a single
No.
one yet.
All right. So, let's see. So I believe the bottom half plays tomorrow, right? And then the top
That would make sense. And you're probably not going to see a whole lot of lines yet for top half matches.
we get quite a few lines up. So tomorrow is
No, but that's all for bottom half stuff, not too much top half stuff.
right, right.
Yeah,
You got
that's
a
fine.
few, you got 3. Okay, so we'll go over
Whatever we got to go over, that's fine.
okay. All right. So you wanted who wants to do guess the lines?
You know, you don't get to do it very often, so I'll let you play today.
Okay, sounds good. So I'll just stop sharing the screen.
All right. So first up, Diego, the Grinder Schwartzman versus Casper the Friendly Ghost.
This match, oh my god. Um, this match speaks pure stay away for me, but if I'm going to guess what the books have it as, I probably have Rude as like plus 250.
You mean minus 250?
Yeah,
Or do you think
I'm
Rude's an
sorry. I'm
underdog?
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Minus 250, and then
I had to ask because it's such a hard, it's such a hard match for the books to actually like put a line on. I
it
thought maybe
is,
like
yeah. Yeah, Rude minus 250, Schwartzman plus 190.
damn close.
Close.
Rude minus 285.
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, but to me, this screams pure stay away. I know Klaus Fulgaard was talking about a set,
Yeah.
playing Diego to win a set at like even money. I can't even do that, man. Like, I think this is like a pure stay
But
away.
if
Like,
anything, that's the play, right?
I guess, but I mean, to me, dude, this is just like, who knows? Like, cause like, and I'm not, I'm gonna lay off. I'm not playing Rude for at least 2 to 3 matches because, like, I'm not convinced that like there's a major problem here yet. We talked about this several times before. Like, I'm not convinced there's a major problem here yet. Like, him losing to Taro could like, I'm treating Rude as if the last time I saw him play was the World Tour Finals. Because he admitted he was gassed out for the Australian run because he didn't take an off season.
Mm-hmm.
Now he took his off season in Feb. He came back and he played a shit match his first match back. That happens all the time. He's rusty. The other guys have been playing for 2 months, right? That's part of the issue with taking your off season in the beginning of the season. So I am treating Rude, and when I say I'm treating Rude like the last match he played was the World Tour Finals, I'm treating him like he still has that skill level, not that he is at that point right as we speak. If that makes sense. So like he still needs to show me that he's back, but I also don't believe that he's not back. So I'm just pure staying away on him.
I mean, to be honest, if he was playing pretty much anyone else in the draw, or like, yeah, 90% of the first round winners, I totally fade him. But
Okay.
the fact that it's Schwartzman just tells me to stay away because like I don't take much stock in the win versus Coria because Coria
I don't either. I don't either.
errors and he's not a hardcore player. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna like take some stock in those matches versus Androssi and Brooksby and the 3-set loss to Taro Daniel. Like those are just terrible losses.
Yeah, I don't care about Andriozzi. Oh, I care about Andriozzi. That's not good. But that's first 2 matches back, like first tournament back. He's got to play his way back. Like again, like he didn't take an off season. Like there's so many issues with what he did in terms of trying to make it back. Like there's a reason why when there's a 2-month off season, the players take a 2-month off season during the off season because you need to rest and then you need to take time to train to get back into shape. When you decide to take your off season in the middle of the season, like you don't have time to even do the full off season process.
But
it's just like a complete disaster.
But isn't that a reason to fade him? Because he's taking the off season at the wrong time?
Well, but like when is he like but like if he's starting to train now again during the season or using tournaments for training, like do you know how much training Rude needs to get back into form?
So, but that's what I'm saying is like fade him early while he's kind of getting his form back. You know?
Yeah, I probably will. I probably will. You're right, but I guess the way I'm saying this is that like to me this would be a plus money line play because like I wouldn't be completely stunned if Rude has his form back now. Like if what he needed was just 1 week of like off-season training, but I also wouldn't be completely stunned if he comes out and sucks. Like I have no idea what he's going to look like. Is my point.
Okay.
But I don't think that Casper Ruud, like my view of Casper Ruud as a player hasn't changed. It's just like my short-term view. I have no idea because he needs to like again because
I've been on the record and always thought that Casper Ruud had an inflated ranking. I thought he had one of the luckiest years last year. I thought he had extremely.
How inflated does inflated mean? Like, didn't you put him in your top 8 still?
But I put him at like 8, not at like 3.
Right.
You know, he's like between probably 8 and 15 when he's in his best form. You know,
Ooh, I don't know about that. Like maybe on hard, but like this is slow hard, so this actually plays well for him. Like this plays better for him than like other places do in terms of courts. But Acapulco did too. But I think it's like I'm convinced that was like he needs to use these tournaments to get back. And the question is like, does he need to use Indian Wells to get back too? You're probably right. He probably does. But
Mhm.
like, it's just like
The thing is,
it's such a mess.
He's playing Schwartzman.
Well, this is your get back match, right? This is another good. I mean, this is a
I
perfect
know.
training match, to be honest.
It's a
Like,
shame. I feel like it's a lost opportunity to fade him.
what a perfect training match. Like, if you need another match to like train, like,
It
what a
is.
perfect training match, right? Charlie Daniel was a perfect training match, to be fair, too. Like, he gets a lot of balls back, also. Like,
But that being said, like I like Klaus's bet here with betting the plus 1.5 sets. I don't think I'm gonna hit it. I think
I
it's a
don't.
little bit
I
risky,
don't
but I
like
think
any bets here.
it's the only play because you know, like Schwartzman could win a set, plus he has a favorable head-to-head against Rude. That's another thing I looked at. I
I
thought
don't. I mean, I don't care at all about
5-3.
Matt. Like these guys are both like I just have no idea what this doesn't even look like. Like Schwartzman hasn't shown anything in what 8 months now. Like Corey, to me, that's not showing me something.
No,
Like
but you're also
so Corey
probably
shows,
getting a good price on that. You're probably getting like plus 110 on that for him to win a set. If the money line
yeah,
is minus 285.
but you're solely betting that because you think Rude is way off. Like if you're gonna do that, like bet the money line and hope that Casper Ruud like completely forgot how to play tennis. Like
Yeah, that is true. Well, what is that line for him to win a set?
it's like plus 110 or something.
110.
No, minus 125. That line's
Ooh, no.
moved.
Okay. Screw it then.
Yeah, actually, the game line moved a whole half a game. When I saw it, I did see this one briefly. The game line was 4.5, so it's moved a whole half a game towards Schwartzman. It's now -4.
So people are
Uh,
taking into account Rude's terrible form.
right,
It's like on
right.
first glance, everyone's like, "Oh, Schwartzman's an awful. Schwartzman's is awful," and then like, "Oh, wait a minute, Rude's been pretty bad too." You know?
I just think both of these, like, there's just, I don't see how you could bet this. Like, I hear your point. I could not follow it. The only thing that maybe is interesting is Diego is now going by Diego Sebastian Schwartzman. So maybe that'll turn his luck around. Like maybe adding a third name like gives him some extra powers. I don't know.
What do you think about betting unders in this tournament? I feel like this is a decent tournament to play unders in, just because of the slow conditions. It's kind of feels like it's being played like a clay court
Yeah,
almost.
I don't think it's a bad tournament to play unders in, and like maybe this is actually this first match might be a match to play an under. That I might actually
What's
do.
the line at 21.5 or 22?
21 and a half.
21.5.
So if either guy wins 2 sets, like do you really think this is going to tie breaks
No,
with these
they're
two?
going to be
So
breaks and stuff like
yeah.
Schwartzman Coria. That was 1-1, I think.
Actually, that's gonna be the play here for me. I think is the under.
Under.
And like you stab your eyes out, you don't want to. Well, actually, no. You do want to watch this match as a gambler because you want to see what
You
these two
want to
guys look
watch it.
like.
Absolutely.
You want to watch this match.
This
So
is a this
play
will tell
here,
you a lot. Yeah, as a
my
gambler.
play here is the under because I don't think this is a competitive match. Or I just have no idea how this is going to go. But like, there's a lot of outcomes where like one guy's good and one guy's awful. So yeah,
And
I'm
even
hitting.
if both guys are bad, I could see like one guy still being a little bit better than the other guy and breaking a lot and winning easily.
Like I said, I think the underline here is basically you're playing the 2 set line.
Right. Right. And I feel like there were a lot of unders today.
There
Especially
were
in
a
the
lot of breaks today. There were a lot of unders.
breaks. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my play there. I came up with a play there. Good chat in there.
All right. Interesting. Interesting. What's the next match?
Ivashka and VDZ.
Ooh. Uh BDZ's been a little bit better, and even when he was worse, he was still a favorite against Ivashka. So I'm guessing BDZ is like minus 250.
Minus 185.
Ooh. Okay, so
I like Bodic here laying the 3.
there is a sample size here. They've played twice this year, so I'm curious to see what those score lines were.
Bodic in 4 at the Aussie, and
Yeah,
Bodic 2 and 5 in Doha.
2 and 5.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Bodic just looked a little better.
A little bit.
Like, this isn't really about Bodic, it's about Ivashka. And like Ivashka this year has 1 win. He's 1-6, and he's 1-5. And it was beating Roman 2 days ago.
That's pretty bad, actually. Lost to Shevchenko, lost to Wolf, lost to Sock. You know, I like that play, laying the game with Boddick.
Yeah.
I like that. Because I think he's covered in both of the matches. Like, even though the Australian Open match was
But that was 4 sets, so it's a little bit of a
4
weird thing to
sets.
say he covered or didn't.
But
It
it was
was close.
minus 5.
In 4 sets. So in 3 sets, that's what minus. It's basically close to 3.
Yeah.
I think this line should be a game higher. I think it should be 4 and it's 3, so I'll take Bodic based on that.
It's just 3 flat, right? Not 3.5.
3 flat. Yeah.
What's the minus 1.5 set line?
That should be plus money if you like that better.
If it's not plus money, I'm not going anywhere near it. But if it's plus money, I might consider it.
Bodic minus a set and a half is plus 130. Ivashka plus a set and a half is minus 170.
I actually like that more. At plus money. How about you?
I think I prefer to lay the games. I could see enough breaks here that I could see a lot of scenarios where Bodic loses a set and still covers the 3. The break even difference is probably like 10% between those two. Is what I say it was plus 130 versus minus 110. So minus 110, you've got to win 45% of the time, or 55% of the time. Plus 130, you've got to win 43 ish, 44 ish. So it's about a 10% gap. So like the question is like, does 10% of the time does Bodic cover? Like, does Bodic cover and go 10% of the time? I think maybe there's plenty of opportunity for breaks.
Yeah, Boddick has been double faulting quite a bit, right? So I think he is breakable in the match. But Ivashka does struggle on return. He's not the greatest returner.
That's just not the greatest anything.
It's true.
Like,
it's a good point. It's a good point. What's the over 12.5 for Boddick? It's probably like minus 125.
yeah, minus 120. That's not terrible either. There's a lot of Boddick lines I like here.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna lay the games. I
still have to think about it. But I'm gonna play one of the Boddick lines.
Yeah.
I think the most conservative line is the over 12.5, and I think the most aggressive line is the minus 1.5 sets.
Yeah. Well, but and then the price is in line with that.
Yeah. So I have to see how risky I'm feeling, but I got to do a little more research on that. But that's interesting. What's the next match?
Ooh, this is gonna be a tough one for you.
Okay.
Your fourth favorite guy, Tunling Wu, versus your favorite guy on the tour, Cam Nori.
Ooh. Ooh. Uh, I'd say Nori is a 5.5 game favorite.
You hit it right on the head. Although he's 5.5 at even money. I was gonna say 5. It's
Okay.
pretty close. It's basically in between 5 and 5.5.
Oh my God. 5.5 is a lot considering that he hasn't played on hard court since the Australian Open. Um, what's the over under in games here? Is it
20. That's pretty standard. Usually, if it's a 5.5 game spread, you get a 20 over under.
But then if he wins, it's 20.5 or just plain 20?
20. 20. Well, think about like 5 and 2 is a push, 6 and 1 is a push, whereas you'd win the 5.5, you'd cover. So that's wise because you could have one
4 and
close set,
4
one
is a push.
Four
Yeah.
and 4 is a push, but 4 and 4 is the other way where you would win by playing Woo, but it's a push on the over under.
What's Nori under 12.5? Under 12.5.
Yeah, I hear you. Minus 125,
And then over 12.5 is plus.
minus 105.
Wow. They set these lines really well. Like the fact that I got the line right on the head kind of shows that like they kind of have it on the money. Are you hitting anything here?
I don't think so. I don't
No.
think so. I don't. I'm not hitting Nori here. Just there like this is too big of a spread to hit Nori on given the spot, and then like Wu is theoretically interesting, but then like he's never like has he ever played a guy of this caliber?
He is not. Like the win against Bublik was his first ATP win of his career.
Right. So
So yeah, no. And plus, I have Nori futures, right? So I'm just gonna ride those out,
yeah.
kind of thing. So I think I'm gonna stay away from
And
that.
like if you're so and he lost to so Wu lost to Shevchenko. So you really have to get like in order to bet Wu, you have to be excited about win over Bublik.
Yeah, no,
I didn't see the match, but it's hard for me to get excited about a win over Bublik on a slow court.
right, no, I'm not excited. All right,
Like
I'll stay away there. What's the next match?
um Nishioka and Garin.
Ooh. uh, I'm gonna say Nishioka is a 1.5 game favorite.
I was gonna say 3, and it's 3.
Whoa.
Nishioka's the cover master, man.
He's a 3 game favorite though. Like, has Yoshi been that good recently?
Um, no, but we're going back to a slower court, which should favor him.
Lost to Tiafa in Acapulco, lost to Mackey in Delray Beach.
So the answer is no. He's not been good.
He's not. No.
But like, does Garin on hard like get you excited?
It does not.
He barely beat Lerner 10, who is still a learner. I think he's 17, Lerner 10.
Yeah, he is still
He
learning.
is truly a learner of the game of tennis.
The question though is Nishioka is Garin gonna be learning against Nishioka? That's the question.
I think Yoshi will be doing the standard eat him up and poop him out in this match.
He was the cover king last year. I wouldn't get too excited about the cover king this year. He did it at the beginning of the year in Adelaide, but not recently.
He won 3 rounds of the Aussie Open. He was terrible against Kachanov,
Uh,
but like, I don't know. Like, I think this matchup favors Yoshi on a slower court. Like, Yoshi's one of the bigger spin guys on the tour, right? So that should be. I don't trust Garen to be able to.
what's the over under here?
It's probably your standard 22 and a half.
Then I definitely go under.
22.
I'm thinking of going under. It's not that I feel like Garen can win, but I feel like there are going to be a lot of breaks here. I don't know.
So my challenge here with doing that is Garen has played a 12 game or greater set in 5 of his last 8 matches. I don't know. Like I'm actually going to go play Yoshi minus the games again here. I think, but maybe not. I don't know. This I have to think more about this one completely.
Mm. It's interesting because we have to treat these matches as though they're first round matches for all the seeded guys.
Right.
You know?
But I'm not like but guys who played Acapulco, I'm a little bit like I'm willing to look at playing those guys.
But it's different conditions though. Totally different conditions.
But at least the court is similar. It's a slow hard. So at least that's similar. The weather conditions are very different. You're right.
I think I'm gonna stay away. I might play Yoshi in like a parlay, like money line. Or
yeah, I might do that too. I was starting to move that way too, because now the more I think about this, the problem is Garen played qualies here.
Right. Yeah, so he's used to the conditions. Yoshi really hasn't played that much, to be honest.
And Yoshi hasn't been good.
Oh yeah. He hasn't been good. He lost 2 of the 3 matches. The win against
beat
Oak is not good. Yeah, he lost
No.
a 6-love set.
Yeah.
So I don't really like have confidence in him covering anything.
This is a pure stay away to
Especially
me.
as a favorite.
This is a pure stay away because like I don't think Garen's good enough that I can bet him.
Yeah.
But
we just haven't seen enough from Yoshi post Australian.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is a pure stay away for me.
Stay away. All right. What's the next match?
The Kubler kid. So I want to actually start. I was thinking about this today. I want to start a new line called the Kubler line. That's like whether or not you're an ATP player. So like if you're above Kubler, you're a pro player. If you're below him, you're the challenger player. And it'll be the Kubler line.
All right. So is Garen above or below the Kubler line?
He's above, but it's close.
That's why I asked you.
Well, there's other guys. Guys you can be around the Kubler line, right? Like you can be very close to the Kubler line. Like
he's tinkering with it. He's playing limbo.
Yeah, he's tinkering. If he plays a few matches badly, he drops below. If he plays well, he comes up. But
Kubler line. All right, who's Kubler playing?
Dimitrov, our favorite guy to bet.
God, Jesus Christ.
Best guy to bet on the tour, baby.
So Kubler beats Sonigo in the first round. That's a good win for him.
It's a very good win for him.
Yeah.
Very good. Kubler's played really well the past 8 months, and I've been very happy to see it.
Yeah. My guess on this line is probably Dimitrov is a 3-game favorite.
Yeah, he hit it pretty close, 3.5, which is what I would have said as well. So my thoughts here are, but it's not great. Like, So a couple of interesting lines here. The over-unders, they're your standard. Well, your I guess your standard for Indian Wells 22. It seems like they've dropped down all the over-unders like a half a game here, probably because the conditions are so slow.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, but your over-under here is the standard 22. Your your 12 over 12 and a half for Dimitrov is minus 135. Your over 10 and a half for Kubler is minus 120.
Mm.
Your sets, your Kubler set spread is Kubler plus a set and a half. Kubler to take a set's minus 125. Dimitrov and straights is minus 105.
I kind of like the Dimitrov over 12 and a half here.
That was my immediate first thought, but minus 135 isn't great odds on it. Like there's a difference between playing that at minus 110 and minus 135, I feel like, because and we've kind of thought about like it's a good bet that over 12 and a half feels like, but like a lot of things have to go right for it to hit. And usually they do, but like you need both guys to play decently well.
What if you parlay Dimitrov and Yoshi money line parlay?
Oh, the money line here is minus 285, so you probably get like close to even money.
See,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
what I'm thinking. You know,
I mean, should Dimitrov ever lose this?
no. And he's been decent. Besides the loss to Medvedev.
Yeah, I mean, look, so Dimitrov is 8-0 in his last 8 matches versus guys outside the top 50.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's meaningful or not. It's over 6 months, but like it is showing he's taking things a little more seriously.
Yeah, Bublik, he lost 7-6 in the third. And then his only losses other than that were like to Alcaraz, Tsitsipas, Djokovic, and Medvedev, which is top of the top, right? So
Yeah.
I don't think he should lose this match. The thing is, my question is, does Kubler get to 5 games in a set? Which I think he can. Kubler, he played pretty well against Sonego. 6-4, 7-6. Took a set off Felix in Doha. And Dimitrov doesn't really blow guys out. I mean, he blew out Brower. But Demonor, Hurkacz, yeah, Karatsev, he blew out. Blew out Laszlo Djere. Yes, I mean, he does. Yeah, that's true. Guys like way below his level, he does tend to blow out. Now, do you view Kubler kind of on the same level as a Karatsev or a Djere or someone like that?
No, he's way above that. Like those guys are
above
below
that?
the Kubler line.
Okay.
Here's a fun stat. Kubler has won a set in his last 16 matches.
Interesting. You know what? I like the Dimitrov over 12 and a half then. Because if Kubler finds ways to win sets, that means Dimitrov is getting to 12 and a half.
Yeah, I don't like the games here. This to me is you could play the over. I think there's 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
You could play the over
Okay.
at minus 120, over 22. You could play the Dimitrov at over 12 and a half at minus 135.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you really like, you could play the set spread. The over 2.5 sets is plus 155.
Have these guys played before?
Good question. I doubt it. Yeah, it's Tennis Tonic says it's the first time,
Mm-hmm.
so there's no head to head.
Mm.
Any thoughts matchup wise on this? Like just like I mean, you're usually pretty good like at breaking down like from an analytical perspective. Like the
Just the tennis wise.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So Dimitrov, like, he likes being aggressive, and I actually think he actually prefers a slower hard court in a way. Where he can kind of construct a point, utilize the slice to open up the court. Kubler, I feel like he's kind of going to be reacting more to what Dimitrov is doing more than the other way around. Um, so it's hard for me to say who this court or who this court favors, to be honest.
I think it favors Kubler. I don't like the one-handed backhand of Dimitrov on a bouncy court. Dimitrov does better with the higher backhand than most, but it still is a one-hander.
But the slice seems to be quite effective on this court.
True.
Like Federer utilized it really well on this court, throughout his career. It's interesting. Like when the ball is hit with a lot of topspin, it tends to bounce up, but like the slices still stay low.
Yeah.
So, and Dimitrov, hasn't he done pretty well here in the past? I think he beat Medvedev here.
You know what's hilarious? We didn't even go over weather conditions for the tournament. We just assume it's going to be sunny all week.
It probably will be.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think
It's the
I don't know if
desert.
it's a tournament we really need to look at weather, but like
Yeah.
even if it says it's gonna be cloudy, I think it's gonna be sunny. Oh, there was rain predicted for next Wednesday.
Really?
40% chance.
Hmm.
But otherwise, the whole tournament. But I mean, it's mostly a joke. Like
Yeah.
40% chance of rain in a week is
yeah.
good. Like,
Right. So
no, this is all gonna be in the 70s and
the thing,
80s.
like, why I'm struggling to talk about how like the conditions are gonna, or the court conditions are gonna favor this matchup, because like if these guys play on clay, if these guys play on a like fast court, both guys are gonna do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So that's why I'm struggling here. The court conditions and the weather don't really impact like these guys in terms of the matchup. So like Dimitrov is going to utilize his slice. He's going to try to open up the court, and Kubler is just going to be kind of reacting to what Dimitrov is doing. And if Dimitrov misses, Kubler is going to have a chance. If he doesn't miss, Dimitrov is going to beat him 3-3. It's that simple to me. So, I think I'm going to go the over 12.5. That's how I'm going to play it.
So. If I play this, and I probably won't, if I play this, I'm playing the Dimitrov over, or the over 2.5 sets at plus 155.
Okay. It's a good play. Too.
Similar plays. I
slightly more aggressive play, right?
So, much more aggressive. I mean, you're getting minus 135. I'm getting plus 155. That's a pretty sizable gap there.
Yeah.
I need to hit 40% of the time. You need to hit 50 over 55, 57, 58.
Okay.
But like, I'm not saying your play is terrible. Like, I mean, I think they're similar plays. It's just a matter of your aggression level.
All right, next match.
I'll probably stay away though. I don't love both guys coming in from Dubai.
Mm-hmm. No, Dimitrov's coming from Marseille.
Right. But yeah.
Yeah, he didn't play Dubai or.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. All right. This is a fun one. Jordan Thompson against Stefano Tsitsipas.
Like, why is Tsitsipas? Like, I'd fade Tsitsipas against a lot of these guys, but why Jordan Thompson? I guess Tsitsipas is probably like a 4.5 game favorite against Thompson.
5.
5. I'm hitting Thompson +5. I mean, I just don't like what I'm hearing from Tsitsipas. Like, he's playing these events to get ready for the clay because his shoulder is not feeling well. Like, that's not good. That's not good for him. And I'm just gonna
It's
play.
not. And Thompson, the other thing is, so Tsitsipas is coming across the pond for this. Thompson has been playing the American swing.
Mhm.
He just won the Rome. He won Rome a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Challenger Rome.
Yeah.
But he won Rome. Didn't really beat anybody. I mean, his best one was Mickelson and Zvajda. But I mean, Thompson's so bad.
What's the Thompson +1.5 sets? I'm assuming it's +120, 130.
$150.
Ooh. That's my play.
I'm gonna go the opposite here. And I'm gonna take Thompson with the games. Like Thompson, like we make fun of Thompson. He does compete. He just doesn't have any game.
Right.
But like 5 against Tsitsipas, like so the last time that Tsitsipas has covered or Thompson's covered 5 in his last covered or pushed 5 in his last 14 matches. Now his competition has been crap. He hasn't played a decent guy in forever. But I think with the Tsitsipas injury stuff, I think I can get around to doing that.
Yeah, 4 and 3 is a push.
Yeah. What about the Thompson money line at 475?
No. He just doesn't have the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, Tsitsipas could be 60% and still win the match. It's just
that's why I think this is.
Question is Tsitsipas even 60%? And the fact that I'm getting +150 to win a set, I think that's possible, and that's what I'm willing to tinker with, but no more than that.
I just pick your favorite Thompson line. I can actually get behind any of them. I can even get behind the money line. It's ridiculous. That sounds like if Tsitsipas is at 50%, like, is there a 1 out of 5 chance that that's the case? And like, does Tsitsipas really want to play a 3-set match here? Like, if he's not trying to go deep anyways.
I would also recommend playing this on a book where you get well, I guess if you're playing any prop or any spread or anything on any,
you have to play. I mean, but you could play the money line on a book that offers. You could play the money line on a book that pays out after the first set for a retirement. That could be a play.
Yeah, I wouldn't do a full unit on it, but like half a unit it might be worth it.
It's also like so this whole like narrative on Tsitsipas, I feel like plays out much better after the first round. Like, I don't think he's going to show up and lose the first round. Like, how does that help him get ready for clay season?
I guess I'm
like,
just
why make the trip, right?
At all if he doesn't feel he's healthy. And why would you come out and say that? Like that's not a good sign at all.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Plus, he hasn't been good in February either.
It's very confusing. The problem is like to take Thompson in the 5 games is minus 130. I think that's the play though. Take Thompson, take the games.
5 is a lot. I wish it was 5. I wish it was 5.5. Though
I do too. I mean, you could buy it up to 5.5. That's gonna be a very expensive half game.
Yeah, very, very expensive.
If you buy it up to 5.5, it's minus 175.
No.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be aggressive and play the plus 1.5 sets at plus 150, and then sprinkle half a unit on the money line on a book, which pays out for a Tsitsipas potential retirement.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually go the conservative route here and take Thompson plus the games,
Fair.
Which is hilarious because I think we're gonna flip the. I'm gonna take the Kubler plus the over the 2.5 sets.
Yeah, I'm going the conservative route on that match, and you're going the conservative route on the Tsitsipas match.
Which is why it's funny.
Yeah. All right, next match.
RBA versus Rusevori.
Ooh, interesting. This is interesting because RBA has been in terrible form recently. Rusevori is quite one-dimensional, but could play decent tennis. He likes rhythm. I'm gonna say RBA is a half a game favorite.
I think it's gonna be more than that.
I hope it's more than that because I'm tempted to take Rusevori.
It's 2. It's 2.
Really? Then I'm taking Rusevori.
Yeah, I think RBA is being overvalued by the books at this point. Like
he is.
He barely beat Fucsovics in Doha. He lost to Fields in Montpellier. I think we both hit that or hit some kind of line for Fields. I remember I hit the Fields money line and made out really well on that. He did play Hurkacz tough in Rotterdam, but like everybody plays Hurkacz tough.
Mm-hmm.
O'Connell in Doha was a tough match. He lost that one in 3. Man, every match is a war, man.
I know.
Like every single match.
What's the over under here?
It's your standard 20. I think it's 21, 22 maybe.
I might actually play the over. And what's the over 2.5 sets? I think that's the play. If you can get plus 135 or better.
It's 135.
To me, that's the play. Considering all the wars that Bautista Agut is in, how he just like goes the distance every match.
For me, no, because Rusevori hasn't gone over 22 in his last 8 matches. Like his compete level sucks, man. And he's either on or off. Maybe not his compete level, but he's either on or off. Like if he's off on a given day, the ball just goes all over the place and it's no good.
Yeah, that's true. He's been a little bit better in February, though.
Yeah, I mean, at least there's more close sets, but still, I don't know. I have a hard time. This to me is I don't think the over-under the sets is the play here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tempted to go Rusevori money line. That's plus 155 as a dog, plus 135.
And you're just hoping it goes well for him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because like if it's going well for him, can RBA stop him? I don't know. I mean, RBA has not beaten. RBA has 1 top 50 win this year. 2. He has Rublev to start the year in Adelaide, and he has Fokina in Adelaide.
But the thing is, those guys, even though ADF's quite erratic. Their compete levels are way higher than Rusevori's.
I know. This might be a pure stay away.
It might be.
But Rusevori's a dog, right? Like, doesn't this play out? It's a little bit less extreme. So I think he's a plus 135 dog or something. Plus 135. Probably not enough, right? Like, you would want like plus 150 or something to take Rusevori, I think.
I don't have much confidence in RBA, and I thought it would be like a half game or 1 game spread. So that's basically telling me that I should bet Rusevori here. You kind of talked me out of it, to be honest. But it's plus 155.
135.
Oh, no.
Like at 150, I would hit it, but I think 135 is just a little bit too light. I think it's a stay, which I think the book's got this one right.
I still kind of like the over 2.5 sets. Because, like, I think Rusevori could come out firing, and then, like, Bautista Agut just, like, starts competing and figures it out. And
the data just doesn't back that up with Rusevori. Like, with Rusevori, the data backs up if he's firing, he keeps firing.
Yeah, but he hasn't really played guys that, like, Lechka started well, and then it was 7-6. Yeah, I guess it's stay away.
But I'll be interesting. That might be an interesting match actually to ask somebody about. Like, that's it. I'd be interested to hear what Tidbits or Klaus somebody thinks about that match.
Yeah. It's hard for me to get a take on this. Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's true. So yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see what other guys on Twitter are saying about it. What's the next match?
This is a funny one. Cressy Tabilo.
Oh, Cressy Tabilo.
Who did Tabilo beat? And how is Cressy seated?
Cressy beat Tabilo beat Martyrer.
That's right. I bet that. I bet Martyrer on that.
Yeah, me too.
And Martyrer sucked.
He did. He really did.
But Tabilo did beat O'Connell, who's one of our favorite guys. He beats Vajda.
The thing with Cressy here is just I don't think the conditions suit him.
It's a horrible spot for Cressy.
It is.
Like, I really want to fade Cressy, but like, Tabilo's a clay guy who's ranked 187 in the world.
When is this match?
Good. That's the question. It's a day match.
It's a day match?
Yeah.
And what is Cressy, like -2?
No, 2.5.
And what's the over?
23.
Do they have an over half a tiebreak line?
No.
Cressy over 12.5?
-155.
Ah.
I know.
I don't like any of these lines. And if it was 2, I'd hit Cressy -2, but it's 2.5. I'm not with him playing so many tiebreakers, I'm not gonna hit.
See, I don't think there's gonna be that many tiebreakers in this match. Like, Tabilo,
the slow conditions, but it's during the day. How is Tabilo going to break Cressy? He's going to be a deer in headlights when Cressy comes to the net.
Tabilo against ATP Tour level competition won 42% of his return points on hard court in the past 52 weeks. He does really well on return.
But he hasn't played someone like Cressy who serves and volleys.
There aren't any guys in the Challenger Tour who serve and volley. Dustin Brown serves and volleys.
I don't think so. This spells stay away to me. Based on all those lines, I don't like what I'm hearing. Like, are you thinking of going Tabio?
Thinking about it, like, so this is.
If it was at night, totally. But not.
I actually think the day. See, but I do think like there's gonna be some Ooh, I don't know the courts well here, but like this is insane. But if it's on a sunny court, I think that could play a role here.
Yeah, conditions matter in this matchup.
But I think not just because of court speed, but if it's sunny and Cressy can't see the toss. I mean, for real, like that's been mentioned as an issue, right? Like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And Cressy's so serve dependent.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm staying away from this match. If we're talking about the sun on the serve, like that just means you should just stay away. We're talking about where the sun is placed in the sky.
I know, right?
Like that just tells you stay away.
Yeah, and like Tabilos, I just talked about Tabilos' great stats on hard. He didn't play anybody in the top 50.
Right.
The highest ranked guy he played was Pedro Cachin.
Yeah. And Cachin's serve is miles away from Cressy's serve.
I mean, he did play Wolf at the US Open. But
yeah.
I
don't care how bright the sun is. Like Cressy's serve is better than Cachin's serve. All right, next match.
I'm wondering how has Cressy done here in the past?
Good question. Do they have that on Tennis Abstract?
They do. So he's won. He lost the first round last year here to Eubanks. The year before that, he lost the second round to Schwartzman.
Mm-hmm.
He's also never won a match in Miami.
Interesting. He's also a different player now. He's better than he was the last 2 years, and it's Tabio, not a good Schwartzman. So I don't put too much stock into that.
I don't put that much stock into that either.
Yeah. All right, what's the next match?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to play here.
No.
Cachin versus Zverev.
I'm guessing Zverev is what, 4-game favorite?
5.
Woo.
And you can get Cachin plus 5 at even money.
Wow.
But Kachin's been such a disaster. He beat Bash a couple days ago.
I know. What's Zverev under 12.5?
Wow, Kachin's been so bad, man.
He's been really bad.
He is 2-11 in his last 13.
Yeah.
Granted, he's been playing the ATP Tour, so he's been playing on fast surfaces that are bad for him, but he's been awful. During the Golden Swing, where he should be better, he lost to Delian, beat Montero, got crunched by Musetti, lost to Galan,
Yeah, it's been
lost to
ugly.
Cerundolo. Like,
Yeah, he's won 2 matches all year.
yeah.
Taro and Bash.
Yeah.
So what's Zverev under 12?
You mean under 12 and a half?
No, oh yeah, under 12 and a half. That's right.
Unless you're betting like the super money line on Kachin, which is kind of crazy. Under 12 and a half is minus 120.
Under 12 and a half minus
120.
120.
The thing is, like, Zverev hasn't, like, Zverev has had one easy win, and that was Stan in Davis Cup. I know we're saying he's looking better, but he still isn't, like, winning easily. Every match is a struggle.
Yeah, but these matches against Sonego and O'Connell barely went over 12 and a half. Yeah, those guys are better than Kachin.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like
I'm staying away. This to me is a stay away.
yeah. That's my only play here if I decide to hit it, but yeah. All right, what's the next match? Hasn't been a very good slate so far. Nothing that I'm like really excited about.
You go against Chapo.
Oh, are you kidding me? I'm guessing Chapo is like a -1 game favorite.
3, which I think makes sense. Like I think that's this line makes sense for this matchup.
I'm hitting
This is
Hugo.
a pure stay away from me.
No, I'm hitting Ugo. Plus the 3 games.
Really? You want Ugo?
Yep. He's actually not been terrible recently. I just don't trust Chapo. Chapo also, these slow conditions, he's gonna be more erratic than usual because he's not gonna be able to penetrate the court. So he's gonna get more like erratic and like try to hit even bigger. At least Ugo has a little bit of point construction in him. Otherwise, he wouldn't have beaten Bernabe.
He does. He was really bad until the past month.
Yeah. He also made what, 3rd round of Australia or 2nd round?
3rd round. He lost to Ugo, but he beat Kudla and Gassed K.
Yeah. Gasquet
after he made that run.
Yeah, after that run in Auckland, right?
Yeah.
I like Ugo +3. What do you get for Ugo +1.5 sets? Or Ugo money line, for that matter.
Ugo money line is 160.
+160?
Yeah.
I don't mind that. And then +1.5.
Ugo plus a 7.5 is -175. I don't like that.
I don't like that. You know what? I might just do the money line. Also, Chapo struggles in first rounds.
Chapo struggles in every round.
True. Well, if he struggles in the first round, he's not playing a second round. You're
Fair
hitting
point.
anything here? Come on, let's go Ugo money line here. You know, and I know you like it. You're leaning that way.
Does Ugo really like slow hard courts?
I mean, it's more what Chapo likes and dislikes. It's not what Ugo likes or dislikes. Chapo is really going to be dictating the match. And the fact that it's like a slow hard court, that's really going to piss Chapo off. He's just he's not going to learn how to construct points like overnight.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I'm concerned like does a slow court give Chapo more time to wind up and crush the ball?
And miss the ball.
Well, just yeah, I mean, could be a miss, right? Like I'm not saying it's gonna go in, but like
But in a way, I think Ugo's game actually uh doesn't allow Chapo to set up, even on a slow court, because he hits flat.
you know what? Yeah, Chapo hasn't been particularly good here throughout his whole career. He did
Huh.
make the round of 16 back in 19. Last 2 years he went out in the second round. Um,
Chapo's also regressed since 19.
yeah. Um, I'll back you on the Ugo money line. Why not?
All right. I like it. I like it. I thought it would be 1.5. I thought they would the books would be like, oh, Chapo's been awful recently. Like, we can't give him.
I thought it'd be 2 to 3. I mean, but you're talking me into Ugo.
All right, what's the next match? Are you placing the bet now?
I am, and I'll probably pull it back if I don't feel good about it. Like I need to think about it more, but I'll place it now so I remember. Yibing and ADF.
Ooh, that's an interesting match. This is a match I would like to see, actually. The books tend to give Yabing quite a bit of respect, actually.
Well, he wins matches.
He does. I'm gonna go ADF as a 1-game favorite.
You hit on the head.
Okay. Interesting. The thing is, it's an interesting match because, like, ADF is obviously the way more talented player, but Yabing is way more consistent and constructs points way better.
Yeah.
But if ADF is playing well and is like firing in all cylinders, he should win this match pretty comfortably. He's just way more talented. And I actually think these slow courts will actually favor Fokina in a way. What's the money line here? Fokina minus
Yibing is plus 105
I might go ADF money line.
at minus 125.
Yeah. I actually think Yabing benefits from a slightly faster court.
I think this is a good spot for ADF. I'm gonna stay away. ADF is like mini Shapovalov. Like I don't think he's as tall, doesn't hit as big. He's a little more athletic, but like he does a lot of the same crap that Chapo does.
Yes. He'll throw in a really bad game here or there.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But if these courts are playing similar to clay, he's the way better clay court player than Yabing. Right?
yeah, I'm still gonna stay away. I think that I don't know. I want to watch this match. I want to see what this match looks like.
Okay. It's a match I definitely want to see.
Oh, this is an interesting one. Kachna versus Oat.
Kachanov has only played one match since Australia.
Yeah.
Uh,
He was terrible.
I'm assuming Kachanov is like minus 3.5.
You hit on the head, which I'm amazed by. I would have thought it'd been like 4 or 5, but I'm not hitting. I this which
No,
to me this
you
makes me
can't lay games with Kachanov, especially one match and playing like crap against BDZ. No, it's a stay
No, I
away.
agree. This
Yeah,
is stay away.
stay away.
But you also can you take games with O? Can you
No,
bet O in any way and feel comfortable?
no.
Next match. This is gonna hit you in the heart. This is Matteo Berrettini versus Taro.
Oh God. Well, I'm upset with my guy Mateo. He needs to stop the modeling and focus on his tennis. All right.
Yeah.
So the Hugo
But
Boss
Matteo is the better
contract is
looking
not-
man in this matchup.
Yeah. I don't as a straight man, I don't judge how these guys look. I judge how they perform on the tennis court.
Are we sure you brought the modeling a lot?
I did bring up I wanted to stop the modeling. I don't care about the modeling, but I want him to stop it so he performs better on the court. I have him in my did I have him in my top 8? I don't think so, but
You dropped him out because you were a baby after I named my top 8 and you decided to redo your top 8 and match mine.
That's true. That's true. That being said, it's probably a stay away because I don't know the extent of that injury that he had in Acapulco. If he's playing, I'm assuming he's fine. I'm assuming the books put him at like a -3.5 against Daniel.
Yeah, you got it. Run the head.
Okay.
You're having a good night with these.
I am, but that means I should like stay away from the betting, right?
Yeah.
So it's actually
It's a pure stay away.
Yeah.
Like Taro is so Taro is so bad. He's just so weaponless, right? Like it was hilarious watching him versus Demonor.
Yeah, I know.
The guy who can get balls back, it was a funny match to watch because
Right.
the points looked amazing, but you could see Taro had no weapons.
Yeah. All right, next match.
Yeah. All right, we're moving up in the world. Medvedev Nakashima.
Medvedev -4.5.
5.
What are you gonna do? Lay the games?
No, I think I'm gonna stay away.
What's Medvedev to win in straight sets? Probably get what
I like 400. The money line is -1100.
Oh my God.
275. You're laying 275.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, I mean, so Nakashima.
I don't see how Nakashima wins points here, and I think it's going to be a struggle for him.
Nakashima is 2-11 versus the top 20 in his career.
Yeah,
he beat Dimitrov and Shapovalov.
Yeah, the question is not can Nakashima win; it's the question can he cover 5. That's the question.
No, I agree. And
I think the answer is no. But that being said, I want to see Medvedev, see how he acclimates with these conditions. Just see how he's feeling, if he's 100% physically. There's some things I want to see with him before I
can't hit this because I agree with you on that take. But Medvedev eats these large spreads up, and he should destroy Nakashima.
Should, yeah. It's a good matchup on paper.
Yeah. Again, man, what a great first round match for Medvedev. He's gonna hit some balls. Get a nice practice set. Get a couple nice practice sets in.
And
You know,
Nakashima is also so one-dimensional. He can't do anything differently.
no.
He can only play his game.
All
Yeah.
right. We next up is the highlight match of the first round: Rublev versus Lehecka, baby.
All right, let's
Let's
go.
go.
This is a
Let's
huge match for
go.
you because of your futures,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna say Rublev is a 2.5 game favorite against Lechko.
You hit it right on the head. I was gonna say two. I was gonna say two, not 2.5, but you're right. It's 2.5.
2.5. What's Lechka plus 1.5 sets?
No, it's gonna be terrible. Minus 170.
Ugh, yuck.
The Lechka money line is plus 163.
That's probably where I go. I feel like we're always betting Lechka early in tournaments. Like, he's probably the guy.
Well, the reason why I like to bet him is because a lot of times he ends up against these top guys after having a match to get used to the conditions. Right? Because he's not a seed.
Right.
Ever. So, like, he gets a match to get used to the conditions, and then you get to bet him against these top guys. You get good money lines. Like, everything feels right about it.
He's had such a fantastic year.
Yeah.
So far. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Beat Rublev in Doha. 6-5 to Rinderknecht doesn't like give me too much confidence, to be honest.
But I'm okay with that because, like, that's your play your match into your play your way into the tournament.
Okay.
Right? That's like get accustomed. He came from Dubai. That's like your get accustomed to the conditions matching. I didn't bet this because of that. Like, I was slightly worried about this Rinderknecht match. Like, I actually no, I didn't. I did bet this, but I bet this Lehechka money line at minus 310 is how I bet this, and that was why. Is because I had a feeling this was going to be like a tricky match. You got to feel your way in the tournament, but like now he's done that.
How about the Lechka Rublev over?
22.5.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, hit the 3 sets at plus 135.
I might do both. I might do Lechka money line at plus 162 and do the 3-set line as well.
What about Lechka 2-1 in sets at plus 450?
No, because I like the 3-set line. It kind of like as a hedge. It works as a hedge too. Because if Rublev does win, then you get something. Because you're getting plus money on both. You're getting plus money on the 3 sets and plus money on the Lechka win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Are you doing that? The 2-1?
I don't. Well, maybe. I mean, so like Lehechka in his last 4 matches against the top 20. We can go 5 because that's 5 this year.
Mm-hmm.
Lost to Nori in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Nori in 5 at the Australian.
Mm-hmm.
Beat FAA in 4.
Mm-hmm.
Lost to Tsitsipas, but that's understandable.
Yeah.
Beat Rublev in 3. Lost to Zverev in 3. So this feels very 3-setty to me.
It does.
Best, it feels like this is either 3 sets or Lehechka wins. So like, but I hate betting both of those because like, it just feels so crappy. Like, it actually feels like you might be better off if you feel like that's the case. Just taking the ugly looking minus 175. So the problem is, unless Lechka wins in 3, you lose one of those bets and you're betting 2 units to make 0.6.
That's fair. You should probably do a 3-set line and then just ride out your Lechka
Just
future.
try out my futures. Yeah. Yeah.
Because it also, if you like, I don't think this bet is ever Rublev in any way. But
No, it never is. It never is.
Rublev. It's never Rublev. But if you bet Lechka, you're just going to be double pissed because you're going to lose your futures and your single bet if Rublev wins.
Yeah. This one requires a little more thought.
Yeah. Is this match during the day tomorrow? Or no, actually, I think it's a night match.
It's not tomorrow. It's Friday. We're in the Friday matches now. Or the Saturday matches. So no, it is tonight. It is tonight.
It's tonight.
It is the night match. It's 6:30. Supposedly, it'll probably be later. It'll probably be in the night. It's a night match.
Yeah.
But I don't know if either guy cares if the conditions are slower.
No, honestly, both guys actually hit big enough where they can hit through slow conditions.
Yeah.
So,
like, this is going to be a fun match to watch.
It's going to be really fun. I'm actually glad it's at night because I can watch it after work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a great match.
Damn. That's all I can say.
Anything else tomorrow, or that's it?
Tiafoe Yaron is the last match tomorrow.
Okay. Ooh, Tiafoe Yaron. Any last thoughts on the Lechka Rublev?
I gotta think about it, man. In terms of betting, like it's a great matchup. Like they're both so similar. It's just like a tee off. It's just like a swing away match. So it's a home run derby, but like I don't know. Which makes me say Lechka money line. Like I just don't see that much of a gap between these guys to be plus 160. Yeah. And like if I'm pissed off about losing both futures. Like you can't think that way. You have to think of it as independent events.
That's true. And Lechka just beat him 2 weeks ago in Doha.
I mean, I don't even think like Lechka probably should be a slight dog here, but 160 seems like a lot.
Yeah. Should be like plus 130 or 135.
Something like, I mean, even that might be a lot, right? Because like the book should be taking juice. So I think this should be like Rublev minus 120, Lechka even money.
I'm a fan of Lechka too, so I agree with you. I'm going to play the Lechka money line.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. All right.
Tiafoe Yaron.
Tiafoe Yaron. Tiafoe minus 2.5.
3.
What's your own plus 1.5 sets? Probably minus 120.
$145. You forgot the book takes juice here. And they take serious juice in those prop bets.
The fact that it's Tiafoe's first match and he hasn't really been good in February leading in.
He hasn't been good since the celebrity game. And they're like, you know, we say this all the time. Like the celebrity game comes up every time. But like that could be a
fucking celebrity game.
What?
This fucking celebrity game. It's like, are we going to be talking about that like in October?
We're going to be talking about it until he's able to beat Feliciano Lopez without going to a tiebreak. I mean, like for real. I mean, I guess he beat Yoshi in Acapulco. That's kind of a good win, but like, Yoshi's hasn't been good either. Like I think that's, I don't know, man. He's just like,
yeah.
And I actually do wonder if there's something real-ish there because, like, what was that weekend like? Right? That's like a star. Like, the NBA All-Star Game is a very star-studded thing. Like, I don't think Tiafoe is much of a partier, but, like, the parties at that event are legendary.
I'm sure
And
they
like if Tiafo went out and had a basher of a weekend, like is he still like getting over that?
maybe, and then like the fact that he is with all those celebrities, does he think like he's like a bigger shot than he actually is? Like that's like the ego is like way higher than it needs to be to perform well on the tennis court. Because like
I mean, in all seriousness, right? Like his energy level looked low against Lopez and Fritz.
it did.
Acapulco's a night event. Tiafoe had talked about how it's his like it's a top 3 event to him on the calendar. And then he comes out with no energy for the entire event, pretty much. I didn't see if he had any energy against Yoshi, but like he had no energy against Lopez and no energy against Taylor Fritz.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would be laying games against Giron here. That being said, I can't bet Giron here either. I might do a 3-set line here. Though. What's that line? Plus 140?
Yeah, I mean Jerome did take Nori to 3 sets.
Yeah.
In Auckland. He took Medvedev to 3 sets at the Australian Open. And he took Fritz to 3 sets in.
No, Medvedev took him to the woodshed. It was love 1 and 2 at the Australian.
That was a joke, Manny. Him taking Medvedev to 3 sets. It's a 5 best of 5.
Open, yeah. That's good. That was good. Medvedev took Giron to 3 sets at a Grand Slam. Okay. It's more like Medvedev took Giron to the woodshed.
It is.
Yeah. Well, what do you get on that 3-set line?
That's going to be your standard plus 150 or at best, but I'll take a look at it.
I think that's what I'm going to hit.
140.
140? I think I'm going to hit that.
I might.
Yeah.
Does Francis play 3-set matches? He does. He played Wolf to 3 sets in Dallas and he lost.
Because his intensity dips. Like he peaks and there are peaks and valleys in his intensity level. That's the thing with Tiafoe. So I'm not surprised by him playing like longer matches.
Yeah.
So
the over-under here is, I think, the standard 22.
Yeah, I prefer the 3-set.
22.5.
I prefer 3 sets.
I think I do too. There's been a lot of breaks in this tournament.
Yeah. All right. So anything for parlay of the day tomorrow? What were our favorite bets here?
Well, let's see. So we like Let's money line, right? So let's put that in.
Okay.
What else do you like tomorrow?
On bear money line?
Yeah, we'll put that in.
Cressy money line?
No.
Rusevori money line?
No. Remember, we wanted Rusevori like plus 150.
Right. Yeah.
Something on Kubler? Or don't we like anything on Kubler? I like the 3 sets there, but if there's something else you like on Kubler.
Dimitrov over 12.5?
Sure, throw it in.
Okay. Or do you want to just be ultra aggressive and play the 3 sets?
I'll probably do that, but
in a parlay too, and just enhance the odds.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Plus 155.
Like we're gonna get pretty good odds on this because this is a dog parlay.
It is. And Bodic money line at minus 185. Throw in like a slight favorite.
I don't like it.
not the or how about Bodick laying the games? Because I think we're both going to do that.
Yeah, fine. We'll do. Yeah, I mean, whatever you like there. We can do either or.
All right. I mean, that's an aggressive kind of underdog parlay at 32 to 1. 4 picks.
Very amateur.
Very amateur. All right. I like it though. Lechka money line. Kubler Dimitrov over 2.5 sets. VDZ -3 laying the games, and then Umber money line against Chapo.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Plus 32.29. Yep. If we hit, it's going to be good times.
That'll be great time. Should I do full unit or half a unit?
Oh, I went full unit, baby. Full unit.
Fuck it. Full unit.
There we go.
All right. What's out there for Saturday? Oh,
you start off there with Alcaraz versus Kokinakis.
All right. So why don't you play guess the lines for these matches?
Alcaraz Kokinakis. Jeez. I'm gonna go 4. Alcaraz -4. And I'm probably gonna stay away just because of Alcaraz's like injury status.
Yeah.
Because Alcaraz eats these lines up for breakfast, but like I don't know.
He said he's fine. He didn't like put
out.
Well,
Alcaraz, I don't see Alcaraz ever playing a tournament and saying he's not fine.
Not like Tsitsipas.
Like, he's not Tsitsipas. Like, right. And honestly, like who says that?
I know.
Who says I'm not looking to go deep in this tournament? Like, so like either he's lying and he's trying to decrease expectations, which I don't really understand why, because like how does that impact
You're top 3 in the world?
And how does that impact? How do the expectations impact him? Like, there's still going to be a ton of media coverage around him. He's a top player.
Right.
So it's either that or he's really not top 5 in the, or he's really like, he really feels that way and he doesn't care and he'll tell the tour that. Like, doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. I mean, I always thought that he was immature in terms of his like what he says in press and stuff. Like I feel like he doesn't know how to handle the media very well.
Yeah.
All right, but Alcaraz is -3.5.
So I'm not hitting that. Like it's that line feels good for Alcaraz, but I don't like. We just don't know enough. You know, I need to see him play before I'll hit that.
That's fair. Yeah, I was actually hoping to get Alcaraz over 12.5, but you get that at -155. Because like Alcaraz, like he's such a mental beast. He's so good, but he tends to play long matches. You know, he tends to draw.
I don't know about that. It's like up or down. I hear you. He like, but it's not all like. Sometimes he'll just eat guys up like 2-2. It's like.
Sometimes, but it's been few and far between recently. Like he did it to Zapata in Buenos Aires, but he didn't really do it at any other point in those 2 events.
He beat that Brazilian kid up like 2-4, but I mean that's not surprising. Or no, 4-4 against Alves. Yeah. He beat Lajovic up 4-2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, but it's plus 150. It's -155, so I'm not even touching it. Evans against Draper.
I'm gonna guess this is a pick'em. It might even be Draper minus like a game or something, game and a half.
It's Draper -3.5. I guess the books have realized that Evans is playing like garbage.
I can't bet this year. 3.5. Draper's too inconsistent.
I agree.
And I can't bet Evans here either because Evans has been garbage.
And
What's
then
next?
if you want to bet Draper over 12.5, that's minus over 12.5 for Draper minus 115.
No thanks.
No. It's a
Like
shame.
Evans has been such. I don't trust Evans to get to 5. I also don't trust Draper to win the match. Like I don't trust anything like this. It's just such a like Draper is so inconsistent day to day.
He is. Like, is he going to wake up on the right side of the bed? Kind of thing.
Like he's almost unbettable. And right now you can't like you can only fade Evans because he's been terrible.
Yeah. Pela and Greek Sport.
Pela's won some matches. I mean, he keeps being like crappy clay guys, but like he's won 3 matches now this year.
All right, but Greek Sport has won way more than 3 matches this year.
I know. I'm not suggesting I'm going to pick Pela unless the money line is like plus 1,500.
No.
It's Greek Sport all the way. Is it Greek Sport minus like 4.5?
Minus 5.
5? I thought it might be 5. That's a stay away from me. 5 is just too much. Like Greek Sport hasn't proven yet that like he can that he's worthy of getting minus 5 lines.
Good point. But
on the flip side,
can't bet Pela.
You can't bet Pela.
And these slow courts actually favor Greek Sport.
Well, they favor Pela too, theoretically. He's like a play guy, so.
But Greek Sport will easily hit through them more than Pela. Right?
Yeah, I mean, look, Pela. Yeah, this is just Greek Sport just hasn't earned enough for me to give 5 yet, so I'm staying away there.
Struff and Tommy Paul.
I made this mistake last time. I was played a betting Struff because I got excited. No, Paul's the better player. This is Paul minus. I'm gonna go again. Paul minus 5.
Minus 4.
Still stay away.
Yeah. Over under.
I actually don't hate Paul there, but I think you made some valid points before.
Yeah.
I felt like he might be gassed out from Acapulco still. We don't know. He's had a long break, but still, I don't know. I'm going to stay away. First match in the tournament.
Yeah. McDonald and Holger Rune.
McDonald and Holger Rune. God. Holger Rune should kill him. Have they played before?
Rune and McDonald?
Yeah. No. I'm gonna go with that. The book's probably higher than this, but I'm gonna guess Rune minus 3.5.
That's exactly right. On the head.
Yeah, no interest in playing that. There's just too much of a gap. I know McDonald's at home, but there's too much of a gap in talent. Like, I want to bet McDonald there. The spot says McDonald, but there's too much of a gap in talent, I think.
You think McDonald can get to 5 in a set?
What's the odds on that? Probably minus 140 or something?
Rune over 12.5 minus 125.
You could hit that if you want. I won't, but you can hit that if you want.
I'm probably going to, but I'll think about it some more.
Yeah.
Fucsovic and De Minaur.
This is De Minaur minus. It'll probably the line probably will be like De Minaur minus 3.5.
You're off.
More 5.
De Minaur minus 5.
That's what it should be, though. I was gonna say I think it will be De Minaur minus 3.5, and I would hit that. Minus 5. The problem is like Fucsovic is just like a bad version of De Minaur. Like he's just like an inconsistent version of De Minaur who has major dips and is so like
I might
stay away.
I might play the under here.
What's the under 20?
Under 21.
Oh, really?
Yeah, under 21, you get minus 135. Under 20 and a half, it's minus 105. Or no. Wait. Yeah, under 21 is minus 135. Under 20 and a half is minus 125. So I'd play the under 21 to get the push it at 21.
Yeah,
To me, that has under written all over it because, like,
but it's pretty similar to playing the minus games. Because you don't ever think this is Vucevic's in a runaway, do you?
no,
I'm gonna stay away.
that's true. Yeah, that's you.
Even though just made a deep run in Acapulco, like you could actually make a case here that this is a spot to hit Vucevic, but it's just not a good matchup, so I'm gonna stay away.
Nah, Demon is too professional. Like he's gonna wake up for this. So I'll catch Monovic and Vavrinka.
Ew. I think the line will be. I wonder how Keshmanovic has been here in his career, but I think the line will be catch Vantage minus 2.5.
Wow, really? You're that catch Monovic minus 1. And that's where I would place it at. And I'm still thinking of hitting Vavrinka money line plus 110. I don't like Kecmanovic. Oh wow.
Yeah, like just that this surface should play well for him. But it should play well for Vavrinka
just as
too.
we were speaking about it, that line moved up to 1.5. Literally just as we were talking about it, that the line moved to 1.5.
Yeah.
So
if you want it, wait. Because the line will get better for Vavrinka.
it's true. I'm actually surprised people are hitting Kecmanovic.
I mean, 1 is such a small line there for Vavrinka. Like, I mean, I don't know. Miami's similar. More, I mean,
Kecmanovic just lost to Shapovalov.
Did make the what?
Kecmanovic just lost to Shapovalov.
He did make the quarters here last year.
Yeah, but he was in way better form.
I know, but like this should play. Like these courts should play well for him. But he just lost to freaking. He just got bageled by Chapo. Like, how's that? I mean, I guess that could happen, but he still lost to Chapo. I mean,
Vavrinka has been slightly better in recent times.
Who has he beaten besides Bublik and his other favorite person to beat? Gasquet. Who has he beaten besides Bublik and Gasquet?
He beat Gasquet twice.
And Bublik twice, and Altmaier, and now Vukic.
Yeah. And that's about it. Zizou, Bergs, and Vukic.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe not. But
I think it's a stay away at plus 110. Like I'm not gonna hit it now. I'm gonna wait and hope the line moves towards hope the line moves more towards Vavrinka. If it gets like plus 130 or plus 140, there might be value.
okay. All right. And then the last one that's up right now, the popcorn match of the Saturday slate, Fritz and Shelton.
I'm gonna guess this Fritz -3.
It's -4. And the Shelton money line, which is what I'm gonna hit, plus 330.
But see, Shelton is so. Yeah, I'll go with you. I'll back you on that. I'll back you on the Shelton money line at 330. And that's my only play.
It's your only
actually play? I think there's a decent chance Fritz covers, but like I can't believe that like, you would put Shelton at a plus 330. They're like, I don't think he wins. But 330 seems really good for a guy with that big of a game.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Plus the spot, Fritz defending
like he could do
pressure of defending points. coming off that.
Don't worry about that. Like Fritz, I mean, Fritz has been a top 10 player now for an entire year. Like he's had other pressure too. Like I don't know.
It's the first time he's coming into an event like this as a defending champion. That adds a little extra element of pressure.
Theoretically, but we don't know how he responds to that in either direction. We just had this conversation to begin with the futures.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. I mean,
I like plus 330. I'm gonna hit that.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit plus 330 as well.
Yeah, over
because I think what the books aren't taking into account here is I think
Mm-hmm.
this is like a high variance match.
Right.
Like I think this could go into like I don't think this ends up very often like as a close match.
Yeah. Another bet I like here, over 2.5 sets, is plus 175.
I like that also.
So
But I think I like the Shelton money line better. But maybe
I'm hitting
not.
both. I'm gonna hit both.
I'm gonna hit both also.
Yeah. So that's all that's up for the second round. But as always, we will continue posting our bets on Twitter. So that wraps it up for this segment. This is a very exciting tournament. I wish it was the 5th major and they would play best of 5. I really wish. Like,
do you think they'll eventually do that? I heard a proposal to do that actually.
I don't know. I mean, they really should because those grounds are incredible. Like, it's massive. Like,
I don't think they'll do it until we put 2 majors in the USA, and that feels wholly unfair.
Yeah, that's true. But
it would be interesting to see them move the US Open out there and do the US Open there, but I guess they wouldn't like
New York is just such a bigger metropolitan area, like
yeah.
I don't think they would, but like
and like and 3 of the majors are in like major cities, right? Like you have one in like Roland Garros is basically Paris.
Or, yeah.
You have Wimbledon, which is close to London, and you've got obviously it's open in New York. So those are three major global cities.
Yeah. But I'm surprised that they consider this the 5th slam and not Miami. Like Miami is the exact same tournament. It's the same.
These grounds are way nicer.
It is, but like,
the players love it. It's because it's the players' favorite tournament.
Players love it, yeah. But that doesn't like make it higher in terms of prestige. Like it's the same number of points. It means the same thing in the tennis calendar.
I know.
So, but all right. So we'll do a podcast midweek, probably when like for third round, 4th round, because it's such a big event. So keep following us on Twitter. We'll continue posting it. Thanks again for the back and forth, and have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, guys.
See ya.